I'm Toby Gillis. Gianni Infantino faces more pressure both from inside football and outside as the Prime Minister now weighs in on FIFA's president. Andy Burnham says he's the wrong man to lead the organisation after FIFA doubled down on their plans to sell off the World Cup. Currently, UEFA, CONCACAF and the AFC of Asia are publicly against the plans. Where does Africa stand? Abi Ijasanmi was the first ever female chief operating officer of CAF, Africa's Football Confederation.
There's no question that money is really key, and investment is really key to African football and the development of it. And while I totally understand where UEFA and its member associations are coming from, I think Africa has really got to consider this carefully.
FC have been handed a £10 million fine and a suspended transfer ban for breaching FA rules around agent payments. Todd Boehly and Clear Lake self-reported the breaches made under Roman Abramovich when they bought the club. Newcastle's players have today officially been informed of Eddie Howe's departure, even while the club remains quiet on it publicly. His successor, Matthias Jaissler, is expected to join up with the squad for pre-season in Spain tomorrow. Howe's predecessor, Steve Bruce, told us it's not an easy job.
It's a big football club with big demands on you when you're the manager. And I remember me taking it when, I was speaking to Kenny Dalglish and Graham Souness, and, they're all reiterating what a difficult job it is.
AC Milan say they'll never let Franco Baresi's name be forgotten. The ultimate one-club man, the former World Cup winning defender, has died at the age of just 66. Italian football journalist Tancredi Palmieri told us he was as good as anyone.
We're talking about one of those very, very few players, and there aren't really many in this football, maybe 30, whose surname becomes like the adjective for the position where they were playing.
And head to talksport.com for all the sports news your heart desires.
talkSPORT News.
A funeral director in Hull has been jailed for 20 years for letting bodies rot in his mortuary, and work can begin to build a controversial new Chinese super embassy in central London. Emma has more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit, your go-to destination for quality tyres from great brands like Continental. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Only the far west parts of the east will remain wet this evening, dry and clear elsewhere, cooler overnight in the southeast.
Good afternoon, you're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Myself, Adi Oladipo, and former Everton, Swansea and Wales defender Mr. Ashley Williams is with us in the studio. Coming up today, we're going to be asking whether there's any appetite for a 64-team World Cup from 2030. 48 obviously wasn't enough. Let's go bigger. Why not invite everyone? Might as well go the full 200. We'll talk about it a bit later. We're going to look ahead to the new season for Everton. How do you think you'll get on, and what have you made of your summer so far? Not much in terms of business for David Moyes and the team. Wrexham went head-to-head with the mighty Liverpool in New York last night as they build up to the new championship season. We're going to find out what the rest of Wales thinks of the Hollywood A-listers. And we're going to be asking whether Boadi is the man to take over from Rodri at Man City. Obviously not. Off the back of that, we're going to be putting together the best Pep Guardiola 11. So his time at Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Man City, we're going to try and get an 11 out of that. There's a few bankers in my head, but that's about it. All that plus we'll get your questions in for Ashley and WhatsApp Williams. This is Drive on talkSPORT. Remember, you can get involved. 03717 22 3344. So Williams, how are we, sir?
Good, thank you. You can call me Ash.
Yeah, Ash. Can I call you Ash?
Yeah.
You know, like the footballers always like Wazza. Can I? Ash.
You call
Ash
me
is
whatever
okay.
you want. I've been called worse.
Yeah. That I know. I think I might have called you worse as a Liverpool fan when you're playing for Everton. Like you, no. You know, in that Pep best 11, there are maybe 3-4 bankers.
Yeah.
Iniesta banker.
Yeah.
Messi.
Yeah.
Xavi.
Yeah.
That's it. Any other bankers? Anyone like, you're guaranteed to be.
They're the ones that... It's an hard one, that. But
hard, isn't it? Haaland, a banker? Oh,
No, I don't.
wow.
It's
difficult,
hard. I'll give you them three that you just said.
Yeah.
And then
we'll
debate
argue
it.
about the rest a bit later. Yeah, argue. No debates here, by the way. We're going to argue about the rest. We're going to certainly argue about the rest. You've been doing this, and I mean this in terms of the media for a few years now. Obviously, I always feel like life after football can be very, very difficult. Yeah. Some footballers struggle. Some just go and play golf for 10 years. Yeah. And some really don't know what to do. You've sort of got into this, and by the way, very good at it.
Thank you.
Enjoy it?
Yeah, I love it. It's apart from playing, the two main things that you can do is coach, obviously, because for most footballers, majority of the time, all you've known is football, so you kind of try and stay in it, or you go this route. But I enjoy it because, with all due respect, what you're doing is watching lots of football.
Yeah,
so
loads of it.
It's like
your job is to watch that game right now and analyse it.
Yeah, you can't complain at all. And then obviously you're trying to analyse the game or talk about whatever the news is. But it's not the hardest job in the world, and I'm blessed to be in a position that after my career I can still stay in football and do jobs like this with amazing people like yourself.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll exchange fivers later. You must have seen so many in the dressing room. We're going to have a little chat about your career before football a bit later. But you must have seen so many in the dressing room that you think, okay, they're definitely going to go to management. They're definitely going to go to TV. And it's almost vice versa. They don't do anything, or they switch roles.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't really. You don't normally think that guy's going to go towards TV, even if they're a big character, because what's the criteria for someone working?
What's the
in
qualification?
Media? Like it could be funny, it could be a big personality, but it might not translate well. But there's definitely a lot of people where you go, he looks at the game from a tactical point of view. He's going to be a future manager. Normally captains or just people, even some people that don't play a lot, but they get the game. Maybe they can't produce it on the field, but they get it. So then you go, okay, he's going to go into a coaching role, and normally they do. Yeah,
I think we're seeing that a lot. I think the average age of the Premier League manager, removing David Moyes, must be like 42, 43. And I think they're all footballers that maybe didn't reach the pinnacle, but they understood it.
Yeah.
And now they've transitioned into management. More from Ashley Williams about his career and life before football a bit later. But now, though, look, we've been speaking about it for about a week, haven't we? And understandably so. Infantino's private investment plans continue to crumble around him. So the big question, is it time for him to go as well?
Strengthening the commercial side of the game is the natural next step. And above all, it is an opportunity, but not an obligation.
Several senior people within FIFA now are questioning these plans as well.
I think he does genuinely believe that FIFA could be a bigger brand. Like, he looks at the Premier League, looks at the Champions League and goes, well, they earn a fortune every year. We earn a good amount of money every 4 years. We're bigger.
I'm really dubious of anything that comes out of them. Any idea that comes out of them, I mistrust them. Greed seems to be at the centre of everything.
I think he could potentially get through it. So this is going to be the gift that keeps on giving.
Gianni Infantino must resign because he has dragged FIFA's name into the mud.
Yeah, mixed messages there from that package, but I feel like he's hanging on by a thread. The confederations covering Asia, North America, Central America and the Caribbean have now joined UEFA in distancing themselves from FIFA's plans to sell off stakes in the World Cup. It means that 136 nations, 136, are against Infantino's plans, meaning it wouldn't meet the 50% threshold needed to go through. Although I almost feel like those are people that are jockeying, really. I mean, if he were to have private conversation with them, it might be different. One of Infantino's senior advisors have also resigned over the plans. Our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, joined the Breakfast Show this morning for the latest.
Well, this is incredible, isn't it? I think they released their statement at 4 o'clock this morning, UK time. At first, I thought they were rallying back, but actually they're doubling down, really. They've said that nobody is selling football, but they are going to continue with this plan to sell stakes in its competitions to private investors. Now, that's obviously sparked a massive backlash. UEFA held an emergency meeting. Their members voted to boycott the World Cup.
Sorry, can I ask, was this emergency meeting after that last statement?
No, the emergency meeting was earlier this week. I think this statement was in reaction to that.
Yeah.
CONCACAF have been very vocal as well. They govern football in North and Central America. Of course, that's where the World Cup was this summer. They say they reject the proposals made by Gianni Infantino.
Yeah, loads going on there, isn't it? Alex Crook, they're trying to give us the latest in terms of what's going on with Infantino. It's gone a bit crazy, isn't it, this? The World Cup was, to some people's eyes, successful.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. Yes, the ticket prices were ridiculous, but we had great moments. Cape Verde, great moment. Curacao, great moment. Just the fact there was no trouble, great moment, right? It was great. and it made a lot of money for FIFA. It made a lot of money for FIFA. It made a lot of money for competing countries in the World Cup. He's then gone greedier. He's then decided, okay, look, you guys have accepted this. You've accepted the breaks, the hydration breaks. You've accepted the stupid NFL halftime show, which went on for half an hour. I'm going to push it a bit further. I'm going to try and sell stakes in the World Cup. And everyone's decided, no, you've gone too far. What do you make of Infantino and what he has done and who he is? Because when he first came in, Ash, he was almost a man of the people. He had taken over from Sepp Blatter, who at least it feels like on the outside got corrupted, and he was very nice. And now it seems as though he's been corrupted.
Yeah, I think the power's got to his head, to be honest. And he's not. He doesn't seem like the most. He doesn't endear himself to anyone. He rubs people up the wrong way all the time. And I feel like you hit the nail on the head. Like he pushes the boundary a little bit, and we accept it. He pushes it a little bit more. But it's the people that. So this World Cup, most people would agree, as you said, has been a success. But that's because of the players, the fans, the people that are watching it. It's not because of him. I don't think he made it a success, naturally. And now with this situation, when his own people are starting to question him in any walk of life, when that happens, I think your time is numbered. And I also agree. As soon as he starts speaking, I switch off straight away. I just think that I can't. We can't leave football in your hands. It's already gone so far away from the game that we all grew up watching that this next step would go one too far. The point is, we spoke about it earlier, but are these people really going to boycott it? Because that's what it needs. That is what it would take, or else he's just going to keep running with it the whole time.
Yeah, I think it's. I say this maybe not understanding the real economics behind it, but I think it's easier for the likes of Spain and Germany and England and everyone to kind of say, okay, we're boycotting. But he gets votes from countries who maybe don't have the financial power they do. So when he says, okay, 1 second, you can get 30 million, you can get 20 million to countries that maybe don't have that financial clout and understand what that 30 or 20 million could do for the infrastructure of their footballing communities. And it's not as easy to say, we're not going to back you.
But how is it okay that he says, I'll give you 30, 40 million to vote?
Yeah.
Already that stinks to me.
Yeah.
You vote and I'll give you cash to vote. No, the vote should just be open. Do you want to do this or not? There should be no incentive to vote. So already that's wrong. But my point is let's just say that UEFA boycott.
Yeah.
Let's go with that they do boycott. So what happens to those players and fans and staff and everybody else that now can't get to a World Cup because they've boycotted a situation?
Let me ask you the question. Obviously, look, with Wales, you got 2 Euros and you know how that felt. Just as for the nation, just for you from a personal standpoint, but for the nation. If the World's FA, say the World Cup was a couple of years away and the World's FA said, we're boycotting, we're not going to go to the World Cup, how would you feel as a player?
Oh, you'd be fuming. You got from the player's perspective. You've worked since you was 4, 5, 6, whatever, to get to a World Cup, and then because of a political situation that's not in your control, which isn't really anything to do with the game, the 90 minutes, the football.
Yeah,
you're missing out. So then your career passes by. You might have made a World Cup, but now you haven't because of a boycott, which is actually understandable because of what's happening. It's nothing to do with the actual football, the ball rolling on the pitch. We need to get back to football not being so much of a business. I completely understand it. Money needs to be made. Money's made. It's great. It helps other teams. It helps other smaller nations. I get that's great, that part of it. But can we just get back to the football, please? Because this World Cup, the only bits of it that I liked was the football. I didn't like the halftime show. None of that nonsense. Just the footy was good.
Yeah, and I've never felt like international football was that. I've always felt like international football isn't about money. And I understood it when it came to club football, but international football was like, okay, why is it like that? And now, obviously, it's become that. Look, we are going to talk, if we can squeeze it in, about the 64-team World Cup as well, whether or not you like that. Currently, it's 48. There are talks about stretching it to 64. We do want to take your calls in it, though. Is it time for Infantino to go? Look, it's been a mess for the last few years, not just recently, but last few years. And we want to get your calls in it. 03717 2233 44. 2 have become free in the studio, and every time you come in, Toby, I feel like there's going to be some big news to break.
There is.
You've just squeezed in, you've just walked in on my show. This better be good news.
It's an amazing story, actually. It's almost a forgotten man. This is about Mikhailo Mudryk, who has been allowed to come back to football immediately for Chelsea. So you'll remember that this is a man who had a 4-year ban handed down to him for breaching anti-doping rules. He's not played since November 2024 after what was described as an adverse finding of meldonium, which is a banned substance in his system. He appealed against that sentence to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, who have today said that because he accepted breaking anti-doping rules, they have agreed that the time served already is enough of a punishment. So Mykhailo Mudryk is available to play for Chelsea with immediate effect.
Can he even still play football? Is he good enough? He's not played football for 3 years.
Nearly 2 years. Well, Chelsea have released quite a long statement today, obviously welcoming the decision. They've talked about what a difficult period of time it has been for Mykhailo Mudryk. And I think this is the important paragraph here in the statement. We welcome the acknowledgement that advances in the applicable scientific reporting standards for more reliable testing mean that had Misha's sample been analysed under today's technical requirements, it would not have been reported as a positive test and no anti-doping rule violation would have resulted. That is an important part of the context surrounding the agreed resolution and allows everyone involved to move forward. They also add that they look forward to helping Misha return to full fitness, back into the squad and back onto the pitch, and he will be involved in pre-season under Xabi Alonso. So it is an immediate return for Mykhailo Mudryk to Chelsea. He has not been exonerated. He has admitted breaching anti-doping rules, but the Court of Arbitration for Sport have determined that the time served, and it's since November 2024 that he last played football, is enough of a punishment. So
you say it's an immediate return. I think it's going to be an immediate exit under Xabi Alonso as well. That we are going to now want to hear from Chelsea fans. I mean, would you take Mykhailo Mudryk back 2 years out serving a ban, and now, as you say, the Court of Arbitration for Sport have decided, okay, your time served is more than enough. 03717 22 3344. And is it time for Infantino to go? Busy Friday. Keep your calls coming in.
Up and said you got 10 players better than John Stones.
I said all time. I didn't say Prem, but let's stick to Prem. All right, let's do this.
Go on.
Virgil van Dijk, John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, that's five.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we going Tony Adams?
Oh yeah.
No,
you're not gonna say.
No, but go on.
I would.
Campbell.
I'd do Sol Campbell, defo.
And I'm a Tottenham
Sol
fan.
Campbell, come on, JB.
Keep going.
I'm going Sol Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh. Gary Pallister.
Carvalho.
Mate, come on.
Carvalho.
Don't help him. Why are you helping him? Carvalho's not better than John Stones.
Carvalho. Ricardo Carvalho.
Jamie, hear me out.
Give me a break, man.
On his day, prime to prime, one game for a final, Ledley King.
Yeah, Ledley King. What, you telling me Ledley King? Oh, come on, Jamie.
Listen, Jamie, not for career, but for one game in his prime.
I watched John Stones playing the Champions League final.
I know he was
unbelievable.
unbelievable.
He was unbelievable. So
I hear it, but
like,
you know
come
what
on.
I think, yeah? I heard
can't be putting Ledley King above John Stones. He's won 6 Premier League titles.
Phil Jagielka, mate. Phil Jagielka.
Holy shut up, mate. Come on.
I mean, mate.
Good afternoon. You listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo, Ashley Williams in partnership with Giacomo Style and Brands for every single man. Great tune, by the way. Absolutely great tune. I'm guessing this is just the music. You're gonna too much swearing, right? For the full thing, isn't there? Far too much swearing. Just instrumental for us. There you go. Still to come, we're going to be hearing your questions in WhatsApp Williams. This is your chance to ask Ashley Williams anything about football or just about life. Be kind. Don't say anything stupid. Just send us a WhatsApp voice note 03717 223344 and start your message with WhatsApp Ashley. That's the best Goldstein impression I can do there. Just quickly though, Bournemouth have agreed a deal worth nearly £26 million for Benfica centre-back Antonio Silva. Chelsea value Liam Delap at around £40 million amid interest from Everton, Leeds and Nottingham Forest. How's his valuation gone up? Been awful. His valuation's gone up since he's been there. And now they were asking whether you'd be interested in an even bigger World Cup. Give us a call 03717 223344. That's off the back of FIFA proposing a 64-team World Cup. 48 wasn't enough. We've gone a bit bigger. Although I will say this, that I thought the 48-team World Cup, I thought it was okay. I thought a couple of teams that everyone thought were going to be whipping boys weren't in the end. Now let's go to John, Spurs and Southend fan. John, more teams at the World Cup and expansion. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because I don't like those last-minute qualifiers. You know, the ones that often knock Scotland and Wales out, you know, where they win the group, and then you're nearly there and you're not, and it happens all around the world. And, you know, I don't think that really works out, and that's really good for the game, like a random Wednesday in May deciding World Cup fate and lots of fans missing out. But my proposal is this, that rather than having that bit, you have a set of groups where those teams get through, so they play, and then they go into the proper group stages where the seeded teams meet them. So you have two teams, so like the amount of groups we had now, and then you have groups before that feed into them. It would mean that almost every team at the World Cup gets to play 5 games, which when you're paying the amount of money to send a team over there and to get to watch your team, there'll be more teams playing more games, which is better for football, better for the fans, better for everybody. So teams like Scotland, Wales, those kind of B-tier nations would get to play the slightly lower nations. They'd get to play, they'd go through, they'd meet the bigger teams, and then the bigger teams go on and play in the knockouts. So
Ashley, just before we came on, Ashley was saying, and he's right, the World Cup is like the pinnacle, isn't it? Like, for footballers, it's the pinnacle. It's not the Champions League, it's the World Cup. And surely that should have an elite status to it. Like, for you to be at the World Cup, you should be one of these elite teams. You should have had to have gone through everything to get to the World Cup. By doing this and expanding it, aren't we just saying, well, everyone's now involved? Don't you take the elite side out of it?
Well, I don't think it does, because I think one of the things is the world of football is far bigger than it was when the World Cup was first envisioned.
True.
It's also very imbalanced geographically as well as to the teams that get there. And the geographical audience and like having America there, having, say, China there, would grow the global audience for the beautiful game that we love everywhere. So I do get, and that's one thing I will agree with Infantino on, the expansion of it does help those non-democratic sides. Because when it's a World Cup, but the percentages of the teams from Europe and South America outweigh it, just because we're the most powerful things, then it doesn't. So I'm thinking there has to be a way where you keep the eliteness, winning it, you've still got to be the best of the best, but you do include it. Or I would have a second tournament called the World Trophy, where the other clubs on the other side of the world, so you'd have 24 hours of football during the World Cup, where the other teams get to go and play. So the other teams, say like Wales, would have got to have gone and played China or New Zealand or some of these other countries, so they get to experience world football as a fan and as a nation, because otherwise the teams are tied to their local federations, and I don't think that's good for football.
John, great call.
What you're saying though, about it being elite, though.
John, honestly, great call. He's basically echoing. It's like he was sort of.
He heard us.
Yeah, like a fly on the wall. But he's echoing a lot of what you said as well. Almost a tournament for them.
Yeah,
likened it to the FA Trophy, FA VAR, something like that. And you win that tournament, and then potentially you go to the World Cup. But you play amongst yourselves first.
Yeah, well, that's just it's just another option, because I do think that, like as you said, the World Cup should be for the best teams in the world. I do agree that it is very difficult, just in what category, what qualifier you're in. Sometimes it's more difficult for other teams. I get that. Maybe it's a possibility where we can have a separate situation where if you don't make that one, you make call it whatever you want, the B World Cup, where you've got, okay, so if you're India, let's say, all those people in India don't get to see their team at the World Cup, but maybe they can play in whatever it's called, another tournament where the teams that didn't qualify but are still good teams, they can go and challenge for their trophy. And if they win that one, then maybe they go into
I'm guessing what's happened with Cape Verde and Curacao, I mentioned those because those were the two big stories of other teams, obviously, in this expansion. But that's almost given Infantino more power to say, well, one second, you were laughing at Cape Verde. They nearly knocked out Argentina.
Yeah.
You're laughing at Curacao, they played well.
But you know, with Infantino, I feel like this happens every single World Cup. He comes out with a wild rule and statement. We all say no, and it somehow works out for him. So is he a genius? Or what I feel like is that the people, being the players, the fans, the people that make it run, they just make it work. They make it work and they make a success out of it. Because every time, Qatar was the same, everyone's kicked off. Well, USA, everyone kicks off, and then it's the World Cup, so it's gonna work. It's not gonna work. The people will make it work because it's football. But I just feel like this time he's probably gone a bit too far with it. But the 64 teams, I mean, 48 teams I didn't think would work.
Wait, 48 teams, and that's without like sort of traditional powerhouses. Italy,
weren't there. Powerhouses, Wales. I don't know why we just got called a B tier team.
I don't know how that's pretty cheeky from John. Republic of Ireland, like teams that have actually, in recent times played at World Cups. So I guess you don't have to add that many more teams in it to see how you can easily get to 64 with big teams being included.
Yeah, but my only concern was there was no, listen, I'll watch any football game in the world, but there just was a lot of football going on.
I got lost.
You do get lost.
Who, and only when I got to the last 16, I was like, okay, it's all making sense.
Makes sense.
I have no idea what group this is, what group that is. But it looks like it could happen, and I feel like a lot of people are not against it, so don't be surprised. All right, a bit more breaking news this evening. The worst kept secret has now been confirmed. Newcastle have announced that Eddie Howe has decided to step down as head coach of the club. We are going to get more on that shortly with talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. But surprising that Eddie Howe's gone after, 5 seasons?
No, I don't think so. I think a couple factors in it is the transfers out, the outgoings this summer. I'm sure no manager would be happy with that. I think he was probably, it sounds like that he was tired towards the end of last season, which is understandable. I know he was ill, and then he came back, he was tired. Listen, I've not been a head coach of a Premier League team, but you can imagine how draining that is.
Well, how draining would it be for a player? Like you've come to training and you're building a squad and you're thinking it's going to be good, and all of a sudden, Anthony Gordon, your best left-sided player goes.
Well, sorry, if
you're a player, if a player coming into pre-season thinking, all right, boys, we've got a chance here. All of a sudden, you're seeing your best players being knocked off.
You're fuming because they're your mates as well. They're your mates, but at the same time, you understand that football's football and you come and go. But when you're trying to build, especially you're looking forward to the new season or in pre-season, you understand you just want good players in. You don't want to lose good players. It's the worst thing that can happen because all of a sudden you think we're gonna have a good season. Now we're losing our best players, and then when you don't see other big names or players that coming in, you worry for your season. But for Eddie Howe, a legend of Newcastle, really good manager. Looks like he needs a break. Hope he gets his break and then comes back fresh and does what he does best.
All right, there you go. Still to come. We're going to be asking Everton fans how they're feeling, how their new season. Not much coming in at the moment. But first, it is time for No Googling. All right, I don't know if you've listened. Of course, you listened to the show before, Ash, so you know how this works. But if you don't, what it is, I'm going to ask you a question. No Googling. Don't try and go on your laptop, and you're going to give me the answer after the break. Or I can just tell the answer in the break, and then you can sound really good after the break. Since the year 2000, which player scored the most Premier League goals without scoring a hat-trick? Wow, that's a good one. Which player since the year 2000 has scored the most Premier League goals without scoring a hat-trick? Any clues? Any guesses?
No.
No?
No.
Think of a scorer. What are you doing? No Googling.
No, I'm just moving that. I'm moving that away so I don't get tempted. Aye. Without a hat-trick.
Without a hat-trick. All right, he's struggling. Answer when we come back.
staying with Liverpool, there are some reports that they have now made a formal offer worth £100 million for Bradley Barcola. I reported a couple of days ago that Barcola wanted to make the move to Anfield, but you've not been too inspired by this possibility.
No, I'm with Jamie Carragher in the camp that I saw him the other day talking about it. We have like 3-4 left wingers already, players who can play there. We need to fill the void by Salah. Frimpong was meant to help with that, but we know he's got medical injury issues last year and not quite what we like to see out wide right when he did play. We need a right winger. It's concerning. And we're going out and we're getting another pacey player who plays on the left majority of the time. So unless Rio's going to get put on the right, square pegs, round holes, all that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't love it because of the money. If he was 60, 70 million, and I get it, he's not. Yeah. You think, okay, it's a no-brainer. Then you maybe sell Gakpo and you clear up some space on the left and you still go get a right winger. But Liverpool right now are playing with one centre-back and the other centre-back on one leg. So, they've got issues. McAllister's going to come back. He was a shadow of himself last year. They need some help in central midfield. Potentially need a right-back because really we haven't got a right-back. Frimpong's obviously going to play in
Joe
there,
Gomez is now going to miss the start of the season.
Yeah, that's Joe Gomez. God bless him. Could have been a world-class defender, but obviously injuries have stopped that. So Liverpool have got a lot of holes to fill. So, and you got to start a right wing to fill Mo Salah's, departure. So it does concern me that we're going down this rabbit hole where we might end up paying, I don't know, like the Weirds money.
Here are some of the best sledges in Ashes history. Let's start in 1933, Douglas Jardine versus Yabba. Jardine, the notorious captain of the Bodyline series. Yabba, some bloke in the stands who became so famous he now has a statue at the SCG. When Jardine was swatting away flies on the boundary one day, Yabba yelled, "Oi, Jardine, leave our flies alone. They're the only friends you've got." Next, Warne versus Strauss in the Edgbaston Cauldron 2005. Strauss shouted, "Come on boys, he's struggling here," when Warne misjudged the delivery by Ashley Giles. Warne then told Strauss, "Say one more thing to me and I'll hit the next ball for 6. Strauss obliged and Warne walloped an enormous 6 over square leg. Night-night, Straussy. Bowler Jimmy Ormond dealt a stinger to Mark Waugh, brother of Steve, in 2001 when the Aussie all-rounder told him he was nowhere near good enough to play for his country. Ormond replied, "At least I'm the best cricketer in my family." Tough. Wicketkeeper Ian Healy issued one of the great lines after Steve Waugh told Ricky Ponting to field right under the nose of Nasser Hussain. Healy remarked, "That could be anywhere within a 3-mile radius, poor Nas." And then there's Dennis Lilly on Jeffrey Boycott, who he beautifully described as a man who fell in love with himself at a young age and has remained faithful ever since.
Great song choice again. Great song choice. This is good. Good to have you here, Ryan. Good to have you here, sir. I wish you were here yesterday and the day before and the day before that. But it's good to have you here. Listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Andy Oladipo, former Wales defender Ashley Williams. A few moments ago, we brought you the first no Googling question of the afternoon. I'm going to read it again very slowly. Since the year 2000, which player, Ash, has scored the most Premier League goals without scoring a hat-trick? So I'm not saying he's never scored a hat-trick, but the most goals without scoring a hat-trick. The answer is...
This has stressed me out the whole break.
I know. A couple of greys have appeared.
I'm just gonna go in two-footed.
Go on.
Wayne Rooney.
I thought you had it there. No. Alan Shearer.
Oh, no, what?
Alan
Really?
Shearer. Yeah, Shearer scored 93 Premier League goals between 2000 and 2006. His last hat-trick was September 1990.
No one would have got that apart from him.
Yeah.
No one's got that.
I would have said Henri. I would have said Aguero. I would have said anyone. Yeah, it's Alan Shearer. Ah, God, your football knowledge. All right, still to come, we're going to be hearing your questions in WhatsApp, Williams. This is your chance to ask Ashley Williams anything about football or just about life. Just send us a WhatsApp voice note 03717 223344 and start your message with WhatsApp Ashley. All right, more breaking news this evening. As we just told you before the break, the worst kept secret has now been confirmed. Newcastle have announced that Eddie Howe has decided to step down as head coach of the club. Let's get more on this now with talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. Crookie, look, we kind of got wind of this a couple of days ago. It got confirmed yesterday morning, but now it's been made official. I think 5 incredible years, 5 successful years. Look, last season fell off a little bit, but you can understand the players just didn't land. How much of a surprise is it, though, to you?
Not a massive surprise. Maybe the timing is a surprise, but actually I was having a conversation with a Newcastle fan at Goodwood Races the day before it became clear that Eddie Howe had decided to leave the club. And I said to him, I don't think Eddie will be in his position in December. There was a sense at the end of last season that maybe he was considering taking a step back. Then I think he was persuaded to stay on. And it's my understanding that 2 weeks ago, as far back as that, he told the hierarchy, actually, I think it's best for all concerned if I do leave the club, and he agreed to stay on while a replacement was found. We understand that replacement will be Matthias Jaissler, the German in charge of Al Ali, owned by the same PIF owners that run Newcastle. Newcastle have confirmed tonight that process is well underway, and we expect him to report for duty for their upcoming pre-season trip to Spain. It's interesting in the statement, Newcastle do confirm that it was Eddie Howe's decision to step down. So he's not been sacked, as we said yesterday when the news broke. And there's quite a lengthy statement, actually, from Eddie Howe, quite a heartfelt statement from the outgoing boss. He says, after a period of personal reflection, I have decided now is the right time for me to step away as head coach of Newcastle United. After nearly 5 years of giving my life, heart and soul into the club with unrelenting energy, I feel that it is in the best interest of both myself and the club to step away, recharge and take a break. He describes it as an incredibly difficult decision to make, but knows in his heart that it's the right one. He's always put the best interest of Newcastle before his own in every single decision that he's made whilst I've been here, and this one is no different. He said it's been a privilege of my lifetime to have been the manager of Newcastle United. He talked about some of the momentous moments they've had, the big Champions League victories at St James's Park, winning that first domestic trophy in 70 years by beating your beloved Liverpool, Addy, in the League Cup final. And like you, I think some Newcastle fans, it was a minority, did turn on the manager at the end of last season. But I said at the time, be careful what you wish for, because you look at when he came in, they were fighting relegation. He kept them in the Premier League, twice qualified them for Champions League football, punching above their weight, really, when you look at the amount of money that other teams they were competing with for those top 4 or 5 places were spending. Lost the first League Cup final at Wembley against Manchester United, went back a year later and won that silverware. So I think only now will those dissenting voices realise just how good a job he did.
Alex, do you think that this has anything to do with the transfer outgoings in, Gordon, Tonali, looks like Guimaraes? Is it anything to do with that, or was he always gonna leave his post?
No, I think that's a factor. I think he's been frustrated with having to sell his best players, with key targets deciding to go elsewhere. It was a real problem for Newcastle last summer. They were in for Ugo Ekitike. He went to Liverpool. They wanted Brian Mbeumo. He was only ever going to Manchester United. They tried to sign James Trafford, who ended up at Manchester City, and they were back in for James Trafford this summer. It looks like he's off to Leeds, and they're signing a cheaper goalkeeper. And I think he looked at the squad and realised it would be difficult to fulfil what we're told are the owner's ambitions, which is to, again, be challenging for Europe. I think it's very hard to make a case for Newcastle doing that this season again, because teams like Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool will spend, Manchester United have already spent. I think we're going to see at the top of the Premier League this season maybe a re-established order in terms of the Big Six, and I don't see Newcastle being part of that.
Crookie, top man. They've done you wrong here, Crookie, by the way. I don't even know this. They've got you on the screen in this cowboy hat. You're a professional. You're one of the best in the business, and they've got you. I mean, this is a disgrace. He's our chief football correspondent. What are you guys doing?
They love the cowboy hat. It's become a bit of a cult figure over the last few weeks.
You're a cult figure in your own right. Cheers, Crookie. Appreciate it, my man. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
I think you're spot on, by the way. I do think, Ash, it's the outgoings and then the incomings that came in the back end of sort of the start of last season. They haven't landed. Voltemada didn't land, did he? Johan Visser, good player, didn't quite work out. Elanga didn't work out. And then obviously the Isak situation. I think that, plus the fact he's losing his best players, I mean, what can you do?
Well, that's what he was probably thinking that anyway, and then that's maybe just it would do, wouldn't it? If you're thinking that anyway, and then you go, well, and these players are getting sold, and you don't want them to be sold, well, you'd probably just hold your hands up and go, I've had enough.
Yeah, it'll be no short of admirers, though. A fantastic young manager, and he'll be back in the game very quickly.
Yeah, brilliant.
All right, let's talk to Ash about an iconic Premier League moment that he was on the pitch for. We are going to go back a few years here now, 13, I think, to be precise. Swansea took on West Ham. Obviously, you know Allardyce well from your Everton days as well. And there's that moment with your centre-back partner, Chico Flores, when he went down, a bit dramatically, I think it's fair to say, having watched it back a few times. He was holding his face from a challenge from talkSPORT's very own Carlton Cole, by the way, that day. Allardyce laughed hysterically in Chico's face. Chico got to his feet and approached Allardyce, who simply continued to laugh at him. What did you make of it? I mean, you guys, right, you're laughing now. Was it a case of, Chico, you dived and you knew what kind of character Sam was? What was it like in the dressing room after?
We gave him a little bit of banter afterwards, but as I was saying to you before, Chico Flores was such a massive personality. And listen, he's a centre-back, and he's a tough lad, but
big unit.
He wouldn't mind a dive at all, so the diving thing was normal. And then obviously he came up against Big Sam, who was a character in himself, did the bit of a fake laugh in his face. It was a bit of a nothing at the time. We had a little bit of banter with him about it afterwards. Got bullied by Big Sam, blah blah blah. But he was just a great character to have in the dressing room. Really good centre back partner. I enjoyed playing with him. Every week was a new Chico story.
You got any?
Go on. Listen. He had
the PG one.
I'll tell you about his pet.
No, go on.
Sweet. He had a little pet. I think it was a capuchin monkey.
Where do you even go and get one of those?
I don't.
You can't go to your local vets and get one of those. Where'd you get one of those?
He came in one day. He said, "I've got a pet." He used to bring it to the training ground. Sometimes I've got a pet. I've got a monkey. His name for me was Willie, and he named it Willie, which went down terribly with the rest of the lads. It was a compliment.
It's a compliment. It went over his head.
Well, he just went, "No, I've named it Willie," and everyone was like, "Oh." Yeah. It was always something with him. He was a crazy guy, but a really nice guy. One of my really good friends that I played with, good football player as well. I think he got overlooked because of all the diving and the antics and all of the madness that went with him. But he was actually a really good football player.
What was that group like? Obviously, everyone looked Everton for a long time, right? 9 seasons at Everton, but Swansea for a shorter period. But in terms of what it did to propel you to the next level, that Swansea period was obviously one of your best periods.
Yeah. No, you flipped it. Nine at Swansea. Yeah.
Sorry. What was it like at Swansea?
Unbelievable. So I signed in League One for a couple of months. We got promoted then, and it was the right, like for me, lucky to be in the club at that time because it was just on the way up, and obviously I was a part of that as well. So it was just the timing was perfect, and it was a city that grew with the football club, a golden time. The players were great, really like down to earth set of lads. I think you could see if you watched us how friendly we were with each other, just like brothers really, just growing into the game. We had some really good managers. Roberto Martinez started it off a style of football that stayed through Paulo Sousa, Brendan Rodgers, Michael Laudrup.
Super young then, Roberto.
Oh yeah, I think maybe was it his first job, or he'd not long finished playing himself. And he set a trend of football, a style of football that we see all the time now anyway. Everyone plays like that. But he was doing that in League One. Then it stayed in the Championship. Then every manager, the club did a great job of bringing in managers that fit the style of players that we had, the same style. So the football was enjoyable. The best period of my career. It was an honour to play for that amazing football club, get them to the Premier League, win a trophy, get to Europe. All these things was all new. The fans were in it. It's just a really good time. And sometimes, not everyone goes through their football career and has a period like that. So if you've had that, you feel like you're really lucky.
There's not many, and you need to pat yourself on the back. I know you won't, but there's not many that will get promoted from League One to the champ to the Prem, and stay with the team. Because normally a manager will come along and obviously look, those players, you look at a lot of that have come up now from the champ, you almost get told you're not good enough and they try and find better players to stay in the champ or the Prem. You took that journey with them.
Mm-hmm.
Was that hard? Was you almost having to set different standards for yourself all the time?
Not particularly. And what happened at Swansea, which was brilliant, was as I said, we was one of the first ones really to get promoted playing that style of possession-based football. So we didn't change across leagues or across fixtures. If we play home or away, it was the same. Against Manchester United or somebody from League One, we had the same style of football, the same patterns of play, everything. So it takes the doubt out of it. Even if you get promoted, yes, the club would always bring people in and sell people. That was fine. But we just was going to do the same thing season after season, and we knew that you knew what we was going to do, but we felt like it was harder for you to stop it. So making the transition to the Championship and then to the Premier League, it was seamless because we was doing the same thing always.
Very quickly, who was the best player in that period?
Wow.
I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
No, I can't.
We were talking earlier about Michu and just the celebrations and how good he was for a couple of seasons.
We had Michu is in that conversation. Wilfred Boney's in that conversation. Michel Vorm, the goalkeeper's in that conversation. Joe Allen, Leon Britton, Nathan Dyer, Wayne Ratlow. So many players. I can't give you one, but there was a lot of good.
You named about 5 really good ones there. Obviously, Joe Allen went on to Liverpool. He did really well as well. Played, you must need for 90 times for Wales as well, Joe.
Yeah, we played with him at Stoke as well towards the end of my career. So one of my best mates, great football player, definitely underrated.
Yeah, imagine him now. You know, when it's all about keep ball and retention, imagine what Joe Allen would be worth right now. Peak Joe Allen would be crazy. All right, Ashley Williams with us. When we come back, we are going to get an update from the Commonwealth Games, and we're going to speak about a man that I know you must have sort of loved watching growing up. They are talking about the great Franco Baresi, who unfortunately passed away in Italy today.
The Asian Football Confederation in the last couple of hours have come out and condemned Gianni Infantino's proposals to sell off
very late condemnations, aren't they? They're all panicking.
Competitions. Well, they are. Obviously, UEFA have come out strongest by suggesting they would boycott all FIFA competitions, including the Men's and Women's World Cup, the Club World Cup. There's actually an under-20 Women's World Cup that's due to start in September, so we may find out if they'll go through with that threat very soon. UEFA's 55 member associations held an emergency meeting earlier this week, and as I say, they voted a boycott if FIFA proceeds with plans to sell stakes in its competitions to private investors. There was a statement released by FIFA, I think it was 4 o'clock this morning UK time, so we were all napping. They said nobody is selling football, but they did vow to continue with the controversial proposal to sell stakes in its competition to private investors. FIFA, in their statement, claimed the consultation process had been, quote, disrupted by incorrect media reports.
My answer to this is that everyone always screams about FIFA's a bit of a dictatorship, but it's actually a democracy whereby you still have to have all the nations vote for this through, Alex, right?
Yes.
So Infantino can't just force it through. It was never going to happen that way, and I think it's dead in the water now.
Well, I was just about to come on to that. So in order for this proposal to be passed, FIFA's 200...
Good afternoon, you listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo, Ashley Williams in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Still to come, we are going to be hearing your questions in WhatsApp. Ashley, still time to get those voice notes in, by the way. Give us a message, 03717 223344. Be kind, be nice, be fun. Just quickly though, Cole Palmer has joked that he'll send the bailiffs around to Morgan Rogers' house if he uses the trademarked cold celebration. Whose is it? Isn't it Morgan Rogers' celebration?
I thought it was Cole. I don't know.
I thought Cole admitted that he nicked it off Morgan. Either way, what do you make of that signing? What do you make of that, Chelsea, Morgan Rogers? A lot of money.
Yes, it is a lot of money. But he's a very, very good player. Yeah. Very good player. But the thing with Chelsea is you just got. Is it going to work out? Yeah. We're yet to see. You don't know.
Like, who does go there and land? I guess Cole did.
Yeah.
His first season, but even that's kind of trickled out a little bit. But hopefully for Morgan Rogers and Cole, it works for them. John Stones has joined Inter Milan on a free transfer. Good luck to John Stones. Now, though, it's time to get an update on the Commonwealth Games with BYD.
Commonwealth Games update on talkSPORT with the BYD Atto 2 DMI, the intelligent compact SUV with advanced plug-in hybrid technology.
Yeah, over on talkSPORT 2 from 7 o'clock, you can hear live coverage of the Olympic Commonwealth Games from Glasgow, and we'll, of course, keep you right up to date throughout the day here on talkSPORT. We can get the latest now. We're joined by talkSPORT's John Cushion. John, I went a couple of years ahead. I went to the Olympics, but let's talk about the Commonwealth Games. Let's talk about Scotland's Melanie Woods, if we can. We spoke about it at length yesterday. Obviously, it was a restaged 1,500-metre T54 because of the appeal that went in. She did win gold in the restage, but not good news for Ellis Cottas, unfortunately.
No, I think that you've summed it up incredibly well, Addy. It was a brilliant race from Mel Woods again. Definitely the Commonwealth champion. I'm literally saying 99.9% she is now the Commonwealth champion.
You never know.
As you say. Yeah, exactly. VAR will come in, as you said yesterday. But yeah, the 31-year-old former PE teacher, of course, she won the rerun of that T54 wheelchair final after the athletics judges ordered her and everybody to take the race again, apart from the Canadian who was disqualified from it. Now, look, Woods was always the favourite for that race, but to still come out and with the controversy that had happened for 48 hours, and I spoke to her afterwards, and she described it as a really poor process, that it could have been a lot quicker, and she says in parasport there's too many grey areas. She was pretty clear that if this had been in an able-bodied race, it wouldn't have been rerun. So I think she was upset for the people. But then I did speak to, for example, the new silver medalist Naomi Alphonse of Mauritius, whose chair was actually broken in that original crash on Wednesday night, and she told me, look, it was fair that we race again because of what happened, and she thanked the Canadians and the Australians because Mauritius can't, when you appeal in the Commonwealth Games, it costs money, and Mauritius didn't have the money to do that, but it was Canada and Australia who appealed.
It cost money to lodge an appeal?
Yes, it does. Yeah, everything costs money in the worlds of Commonwealth and the Olympics, as you know. So she thanked them for helping her with the appeal and helping her fix the chair as well, because her chair was broken. And new bronze medalist Eliza Out-Connell from Australia also agreed that it was the right thing to do. But spare a thought for young English racer Ellis Cottas, who is in her first Commonwealth Games. I know her dad is a talkSPORT listener, because when I interviewed her, she said, "Is that going on talkSPORT?" And I went, "Yeah." And she went, "Oh, my dad listens all the time." So So she was pleased to speak to me, but she was disappointed to finish fourth. And she was a silver medalist yesterday, and now she's fourth in the Commonwealth Games. But what she said, and look, what a great attitude. She said, look, if you'd have asked me before I came, I'd have been happy with the fourth place in the Commonwealth Games, my first major. It's just that it's been really hard for the last couple of days.
Yeah, that's really bad news for Ellis, but obviously good news for Melanie Woods. When I think of Commonwealth Games, when I think of the Olympics, I do think of athletics, cycling and boxing as the big sports alongside swim. Yep. A lot of boxing and athletics tonight. What can we expect?
Yeah, well, we've got loads of medals coming in, literally as I speak. Northern Ireland's John McConnell will be going for gold in the light middleweight tomorrow because he's just beaten Sonny Kerr of Scotland, who now ends up with the bronze. And McConnell for Northern Ireland will face Wales's Orlando Holy-Satomi, who won his semi-final. So that in the light middleweight. Boxing's Michaela Walsh, who's won gold, of course, for Northern Ireland 4 years ago and 2 silvers previously. She's got another gold in her 4th games. She won her semi-final in the featherweight and into the final. But there was despair for Rosie Eccles, who's actually retiring now after competing for Wales for a number of years. She was the Birmingham gold medalist 4 years ago, looking to do the double for the first time in this women's light middleweight competition, but she lost in her semi-final to a brilliant Indian fighter called Chowdhury, who absolutely won that fight, and it was disappointing for Rosie, and it means that Chantel Reid of England will now face Chowdhury of India tomorrow. So there's a lot more medals to come. There's some bronze has been given out, and you mentioned the cycling as well. I can tell you that Anna Morris of Wales has just won the women's individual pursuit. She's beaten her British teammate of England, Josie Knight, in a Commonwealth Games record time. So medals being won by Wales left, right and centre at the moment. And also Erin Boothman of Scotland has won the women's 4,000 metre individual pursuit in cycling, her bronze medal. Now, just quickly on the cycling before I mention the athletics. Remember in the Winter Olympics, Addy, when the British skeleton riders weren't allowed to use designer helmets at the Winter Olympics? Well, Australia's Sophie Edwards and Felicity Wilson-Haffernan have been disqualified in the individual pursuit earlier for using altered helmets.
Wow.
Which basically
Everyone's finding a way.
The shape and the morphology. Yeah, but the UCI who run, of course, cycling have said they are not fit. It may be your new Olympic kit for Australia, but they kicked them out. They kicked them out of the tournament, and it means that Erin Boothman went for the bronze and she won the bronze. So more controversy in the cycling. We're hoping, though, as you say, in the athletics tonight, there's no controversy whatsoever, and we get a big England gold medal in the women's 800 metres tonight with Georgia Hunter-Bell in action.
Almost guaranteed, that is, almost guaranteed. As always, thank you very much, John. Appreciate it. That was thanks to BYD.
Commonwealth Games update on talkSPORT with the BYD Atto 2 DMI, the intelligent compact SUV with advanced plug-in hybrid technology.
All right, when we come back, we are going to talk about a very good subject, a subject dear to Mr. Ashley Williams' heart. We are going to talk about Everton and what we can expect from them this coming season.
Let's bring in Terry Gibson, Spanish football expert. Terry, always good to speak to you. Lots of news stories over in Spain at the moment. Let's start with that Marcus Rashford farewell post to Barcelona. Looks like his hopes of return to the Camp Nou are now very much over.
Yes, it does, and I think it was a blow to him when Anthony Gordon. It must have been kind of awkward when the England team met up for the World Cup when Anthony Gordon had already completed his move to Barcelona. Marcus Rashford's future was hanging in the air. And then they signed Karim Adeyemi. So it's not going to happen now for Marcus Rashford. I have to be honest, I'm really surprised. I thought it was a good value in terms of the transfer fee. And I thought his form last season was as good as you would expect. And he couldn't have done any more. He scored some important goals. He actually effectively got the goal that won them the league title. He was popular with his teammates and popular with the fans. So I'm surprised. Even when Anthony Gordon signed, I still thought there was a possibility that Rashford would still go, but the signing of Adeyemi.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. This feel familiar?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision. It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top of football refereeing? Every referee starts with their county FA. It's a simple training course and you can take it as soon as you hit your 14th birthday. Once you've done that, you have to go through at least 11 hours of face-to-face training. You'll then graduate as a Level 7 official, which means you can take charge of county-level games. But hold your horses, there's still a long way to go to get to the Premier League. Your next step is to spend a year each at Levels 6, 5 and 4. This covers the top of the amateur game. Only at Level 3 do you start doing Northern Counties or Isthmian League level games, for example. If you've done this all quickly, you can reach Level 2 and ref your first National League match after, I don't know, 6 years? After getting enough experience at that level, you can apply to be a referee in the EFL. There's an interview, people watching you do games, and then, if the EFL are happy, you'll be granted a Level 1 licence to ref in games in League 2 and above. Now, they don't just say on you go to the Premier League, you have to work your way up through the divisions. Only after years of hard work and refereeing on cold Tuesday nights in Stoke can you be considered to do matches in some of Europe's very best stadiums. Now, who was the youngest to reach the very top? It was actually Michael Oliver. He refed his first Premier League match in 2010 at the tender age of just 25. So if you want to follow in his footsteps, crack on. It'll only take you roughly a decade, thousands of hours of work and an incredibly thick skin. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough for the top flight. That means there's not even a 1 in 1,000 chance you'll even make it in. Obviously, referees can make mistakes, but when you think about it, having a go at them is kind of like slating a brain surgeon.
Good afternoon, you listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo alongside Ashley Williams, former Swansea, former Everton, former Wales international as well. Still to come, we are going to be hearing your questions in WhatsApp Williams. This is your chance to ask Ashley Williams anything about football, just about life. Just send us a WhatsApp voice note on 03717 223344. You have to, though, you know how it works. You have to start your message with a good WhatsApp. Ashley. There you go. But now, are Everton fans confident ahead of the new season?
Bit of space here for Dewsbury Hall. Getting the wrong side of Fernandez. Gets it back onto his right foot. Shoots into the far corner and scores a terrific goal. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall for the 10 men of Everton.
I think we're doing fantastic. I think we're doing really well. The gaffer just needs time and he needs backing. That is the most important thing. The most important thing is David Moyes is back at Everton Football Club.
Very, very, very good manager. I just think for David Moyes, he probably doesn't get the respect he deserves.
It's a brilliant stadium for Evertonians, and for what we wanted and what we needed was an incredible thing what the club have gone and done, and you know the years of waiting on it.
Goes past one, goes past two, drop of the shoulder onto his left foot, and that is a great goal. Iliman Ndiaye puts Everton in front.
I keep hearing from every Everton fan I know that it's a great stadium, and look, it is a good stadium, and I'm guessing it's going to sort of grow its own character, but right now isn't Goodison Park, is it? Isn't Goodison Park. The fans are not really tight on you. It's not as intimidating, but it is a nice stadium, the Hill Dickinson. I've been, Ade, make sure you call it Hill Dickinson and not the Hill Dickinson. Ashley, you were there for a couple of seasons. Before we talk about Everton and where they are now and where you think they'll be next season, how was it for you Everton. Good times?
Good, yeah. First season was really good, really enjoyed it. It was a difficult second season. But yeah, no, it's just it's a very intense football club. Fans are intense. They demand a lot, which so they should as well, because it's such a big club, and you realise the size of it when you're there and you're in the middle of it. I think, you know, we'll get on to where we think they're going to go, but I thought that they did really well to move from such an iconic stadium and manage the situation as they did last season.
Yeah, we've seen everyone have that kind of fall off. I mean, you look at Spurs for the last couple of seasons, right? Yes, they won a trophy, but you look at where they 17th and 16th, wherever it is. Even Arsenal, when they moved to the Emirates from the Highbury, wasn't easy.
It's difficult,
It's difficult, isn't it? And Everton, you're right. I think they've done well. I think Moisey done really well in terms of managing that as well. They must look around, Everton fans this is, they must look around at clubs sort of deemed smaller than them picking up trophies. Palace, FA Cup, European Cup, the Community Shield, Newcastle, the League Cup as well. And West Ham, the Conference League, right? And that's what I can understand why Everton fans are like, well, 1 second. You know, we're bigger than these clubs traditionally. Why haven't we even been in the mix for silverware for so long?
Yeah, and I do think that's a valid argument, because when you realise that Nottingham Forest doing well in Europe, and I get it. There's not, for the Everton fans, there's not been a lot to get excited about, and especially now in this summer going into the new season. As a fan, you want to be excited. As a kid, when you was a fan, and who's coming to? You start getting linked with people. Just even getting linked with someone is a bit of excitement going in. None of that's happened. So I can see the frustration with the fans, and especially they need a trophy, don't they? Let's be honest. They need to pick up any kind of trophy. That they need that. They've been starved of that for so long. But where should they be landing in the Premier League? I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's any higher than where they were last season. Right at the minute, I think David Moyes did an exceptional job last season. I don't understand why he doesn't get more credit, because I thought he did excellent. But for that football club, they need to build on what they did last season and somehow, from somewhere, win a trophy. I think that should be the first protocol, win a trophy.
Yeah, and right now it's any trophy, isn't it? Again, just get to the semis and quarters. Just give fans excitement. I think that Wembley... It is close. In terms of signings, you mentioned sort of fans getting excited when you're linked with players that they're not really linked with anyone. Hayden Hackney's come in, sort of with the big signing. He's come from Middlesbrough. Tyreek George from Chelsea, but that's almost one for the future. And I guess this is why Everton fans will be looking at, thinking, 1 second, every other team's being linked with big name signings. And so far, we've only got 3 through the door, the biggest one being Hayden Hackney.
Yeah, and I don't have the answer to this, but what is the problem? Why are they not attracting or going after players that excite the fan base? Is that down to the manager? Is that down to the hierarchy? Is that down to the club that players don't want to come? I don't know. It could be a number of things.
It felt like, Ash, sorry to cut, it did feel like, though, for about a decade, and you'll know this more than me, it felt like they were making big money signings and none of them really landed. It felt like the cash was being splashed.
I know what you mean, and you're not talking about myself. I understand.
No, not you. It's all good money though, Ash.
No, I know what you mean. They kind of went that way.
It's like they did go that way,
and it didn't work. So maybe they're now just saying, okay, we're going to try a different tactic. But you have to have something where the fans can buy into it, and they should be buying into David Moyes. I hope they are. I hope they're not, because he's done an excellent job, and he's such a likeable person. You know, I know him personally. He's such a likable person. He's a very, very good manager. Get behind that team as they did last season. But they need something else. I think the fan base, they've got the new stadium, great. They survived the first year, which is the all important thing. They could have done with a few more wins at home. All of that will come. They'll make it their home. As a player, when you sit in this one seat at Goodison all the time, then you go there, it's like an away game. So they survived that season. Now they need some sort of excitement around this club. They've got the stadium, so that's there. Now can they start attracting some players that the fans will get excited about, that will lift that team, the likes of Enjoy, and they can play with them and then push for a European place? Can they win a trophy? They've got to put those pieces together.
You felt like Grealish was that until he got injured. In fact, I'm being kind to Grealish. Even before he got injured, he kind of fell off a little bit. But there was a period at the first couple of months, 3-4 months, where Grealish was that excitement.
Yeah.
And that kind of maverick player.
Yeah, and that's the type of player that Everton fans want to see coming to their football club. I feel like for years they get they sign players that the Manchester teams are surplus to requirements at the Manchester teams.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
For years, Manchester United players, and they go to Everton.
You think of Fellaini,
Phil Neville. No, it just happens.
Rooney
Gibson,
all go there.
So they go there, but can they stretch out, get some players that work, that come in and work, that the fans can get behind? It's just that excitement. There's a lack of excitement with that football club. They need to stabilise on what they've done, which they've done that last season. Let's go again. Let's build on what we've done and then really push for it. But as I say, I keep banging on about it, what would help is a run in a cup, something that they can get behind, that hopefully they win it. If they don't, then at least they've had something, because every season seems very similar. Recent history, they've had relegation battles up until near the end of the season. Then they had a season last year where nothing. Okay, that's cool. Now can we make a push for something?
I want to ask about a player in your position who I thought, if you would have told me a couple of years ago that he wouldn't be in the England squad for the World Cup, I'd have said you were wrong, and that's Jared Branthwaite.
Yeah.
And I expected him to kind of kick on and go. And I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Some say he's a Liverpool fan, and that might be an issue. I don't know what in terms of wanting out of the club. But he's one I expected almost to kind of just take that next step up. And it hasn't quite happened. Again, it's not just him. It's down to other players at the club. But I expected him to really say, okay, let's kind of get this together, because I look at him as a true top defender.
Yeah, and me too. And that might happen. I don't think we should write him off yet because he hasn't set the world alight. I think he's an excellent player. Still got age on his side. Yeah. He's got all the attributes. It can defend as well. I think he's got the good manager there that sometimes defenders these days concentrate so much with the ball at their feet that they don't defend. He does defend. The manager requires them to defend also. So let's not write him off yet. I completely understand what you're saying, because I thought he would be the centre-back for England now for years to come.
100%.
But there's still time for that. So it's a bit more of a slow burn with him, and we expected too much too soon of him.
On Moyes, obviously, like someone that you know personally, I think he's done. You only have to look at what's happened with West Ham since he's gone.
Yeah.
And a lot of West Ham fans, and they'll say they weren't, but a lot of West Ham fans weren't happy. I remember banners saying Moyes out, Moyes left, West Ham have gone down. So Everton fans have got to be careful. But he's almost a bit of an outlier in the Premier League, in the sense that you look around the rest of the Premier League and everyone seems to be between the ages of, like, I don't know, as low as 38 to 45. And there comes Moyes, he's 63.
Love it. I
like the fact he's still competing with these youngsters and still throwing hands with them.
Yeah, and it's not like he's like a dinosaur and he plays some old stuff. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I think sometimes at the minute we're getting so obsessed with these system-style managers, young guys coming in, which is great. I'm all for let's get the young guys in and progress the game. But every now and again, if that manager, regardless of age, if he's doing a good job, what's the problem? Maybe because he's not a fashionable name, people kind of switch off
Style
from him.
of football, though, Ash?
Possibly, what do you want? I've seen a lot of teams go down recently with an amazing brand of football and all these things. Do you want to win, or do you want to watch a style of? I think
fans want both. Are they not right to ask for both, like good football
really.
and win?
No, not really. I don't think so. Like, you can't have it all. Like, you can't have it.
Not everyone can be Pep. Yeah.
Listen, I get it. You pay a lot of money to go and watch your team, and then you want to be entertained. Football is entertainment, so you want to be entertained. I get it. But not at the expense of winning games or continuously losing games and doing the same thing week in and week out. So, okay, we can criticise his style of play if you want to, but I think he gets the job done, just as he proved last season.
As we mentioned at the top, Everton finished 13th last season. I think they lost 15 games, which is a lot. With what they've done so far in the window, and in terms of impacts to the starting 11, I think only Hayden Hackney is an impact in terms of what they've done. Where do they finish? I mean, is it almost going to be same as? Getting used to the stadium, trying to make that fortress?
They have to do that, but they need some. I think they need some attacking players. They didn't score enough goals, so that needs to be addressed. They need someone that they can hang their hat on and say, right, we have got this striker that's going to get us 15 goals a season, 20 goals a season. Somebody that they can, when you're in the tunnel. And you look back and you go, oh, we've got him today. We've got every chance. Keep a clean sheet. He's going to score some goals. I think they need that type of profile of player. What they know turning up to a game, the fans know, the players know, when we've got this player on the pitch, we've got a good chance.
Does that exist in the Premier League? Like, I was just trying to, as you were talking, in my head immediately, and he's not that player, but it's only because you talked about the link between Everton and United and Everton and City in terms of taking their almost cast-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
In terms of a player out on the left, again, he's not full of goals, but he's exciting. When he gets the ball, he's exciting, right? Everyone at Hill Dickinson will stand up when he gets the ball. Could that be an option for them?
Yeah.
Almost a destination for Marcus as well, where, you know, week in, week out, you are playing.
Yeah.
Guaranteed to play football.
Yeah, it does fall back into the same thing I was saying. But that type of player is probably everything that they need right now. And a player that, if it was Marcus Rashford, let's just say, he's going to gain confidence by knowing this is now my team. Yeah. This is my club. I'm going to play. I'll play and it's on me. And then most players, the ones that are going to succeed, will succeed under that kind of pressure where they go, okay, here's the keys. You've got the keys to this place now. And they go. So they need somebody like that. And it's a very good club for that type of player that needs to maybe find himself a little bit more, play all the time. There's no real competition, just a bit low on confidence. So you know you're going to play. As you say, get to the ball, crowd her up on their feet, get in behind them, work hard. They need something like that. But don't get me wrong, I think like Beto, who gets a lot of criticism, has been brilliant, but somebody else with Beto, maybe to bring Beto off the bench. You can't. I don't know if they're going to finish higher with Beto leading the line.
Agreed. And somehow I almost feel like the Moyes Marcus Rashford thing works. I almost feel like Marcus having that father figure, like he did with Sir Alex, I think works. But we'll see how it plays out. All right, we're going to take your calls on this one. Everton fans, how are you feeling ahead of the new season? And what do you make of David Moyes as well? Obviously, look, I think it's been a fantastic return to the club, but numbers don't lie. 15 defeats last season, 13th in the league. Are you satisfied, or are you already thinking about a replacement for Moyes? A certain Eddie Howe is now available. 03717 22 3344.
It's an amazing story, actually. It's almost a forgotten man. This is about Mykhailo Mudryk, who has been allowed to come back to football immediately for Chelsea. So you'll remember that this is a man who had a 4-year ban handed down to him for breaching anti-doping rules. He's not played since November 2024 after what was described as an adverse finding of meldonium, which is a banned substance in his system. He appealed against that sentence to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, who have today said that because he accepted breaking anti-doping rules, they have agreed that the time served already is enough of a punishment. So Mykhailo Mudryk is available to play for Chelsea with immediate effect.
Can he even still play football? Is he good enough? He's not played football for 3 years.
Nearly 2 years. Well, Chelsea have released quite a long statement today, obviously welcoming the decision. They've talked about what a difficult period of time it has been for Mykhailo Mudryk. And I think this is the important paragraph here in the statement. We welcome the acknowledgement that advances in the applicable scientific reporting standards for more reliable testing mean that had Misha's sample been analysed under today's technical requirements, it would not have been...
Good afternoon. Listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo alongside Ashley Williams in partnership with Giacomo, style and brands for every single man. Still to come, we are going to be hearing your questions in WhatsApp. Ashley, still got time to send in those voice notes. Give us a voice note, a WhatsApp on 03717 223344. Remember, start it with WhatsApp, Ashley. But just quickly, Bournemouth have agreed a deal worth nearly £26 million for Benfica centre-back Antonio Silva. And Chelsea value Liam Delap at around 40 million amid interest from Everton. Not bad.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. Bit of business there. Leeds United and Nottingham Forest. If you're Liam Delap, very quickly, and those three come in for you, surely Everton.
Yeah, you go Everton.
Surely.
I think so.
100%.
Because that is perfect. That's exactly what we were just talking about. He goes.
You're the man.
Leads the line.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Go and get us into Europe and you become a superstar. Get into the England squad, knock out Harry Kane. There you go. All right, we're joined by Ashley Williams. We need to ask him about one of the most controversial moments of his career. You've had a couple, actually, but this is the most.
You don't need to. You're choosing to.
Yeah. Back in 2012, Swansea drew 1-0 with Manchester United, but Ashley was the big talking point after accidentally, in brackets, kicking the ball into Robin Van Persie's head whilst trying to clear the ball. So Alex Ferguson spoke afterwards, and he wasn't happy.
He could have been killed. I think the FA has got to look into it. I think, irrespective of him having a yellow card, he should be banned for a long time because that was the most dangerous thing I've seen in a football field for many, many years.
This is Ashley Williams smashing ball inside. You felt that was deliberate?
Absolutely deliberate. I'm absolutely no question. The whistle's gone, the game has stopped, and he's done that right in front of the referee. A foot for the player. He could have really killed the lad. It was a disgraceful act by the player. He should be banned for a long, long time.
Ash, you're a disgrace. Ash, you could have killed him, and you should have been banned, Ash.
But I just want to pick up.
Did you get a yellow card for that?
Yeah, I got
a yellow card. Okay. Yeah.
But he said that's the most dangerous thing he's seen on a football pitch.
Yeah.
Did he see the Eric Cantona?
Missed it. He missed it. Yeah,
he didn't see that.
He's a Wenger special. Didn't see it.
Okay.
Happened. Yeah.
No, all right, fair enough.
Well, did you feel bad afterwards? We've seen it. We just watched it.
No, I did.
Did you feel bad?
But yeah, because I've spoke about this before. And what happened was the ball come, and it was a little bit like when you're a kid and you go, "Oh, should I? Shouldn't I? Should I?" And then I just hit it, and then once it hit him, I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Instantly was like,
Did you when you kicked it? Did you full? Did you full throttle? Did you feel like you held back a little bit?
Yeah, no, I didn't. It wasn't a full punt, and it was, and I did try and hit him. Like, there's no way around it. But I instantly regretted it and did apologise to him after that as well. So it was wrong, but I think it was just completely blown out of proportion because you got. There was people on the news like the Monday, like neurologists and doctors saying how dangerous it was, and I was like, hang on a second, I get paid to put my head in front of shots every single day, so it can't be that bad. But it was one time. It was out of order. It was wrong, and it was one of the things that I definitely.
Did you apologise to Robin?
Yeah, I did. The next time I played against him, I apologised, and he shrugged it off. He didn't really accept it. Yeah.
But how when we talk about the top strikers sort of ever, I think he was a phenomenal striker. That first season at United, I thought he was unplayable. How tough was he to play against?
Yeah, he's up there as one of the toughest. Definitely, just. His technique and his balance and his intelligence, it made it just. There's some strikers that I've played against. You got Suarez, Drogba, Wayne Rooney, RVP. Sometimes you're at their mercy. You're just hoping they have a bad day.
Bad day.
Yeah, because they're too good. They're so good at everything. It's not like I can play on this guy's weakness. They have everything. So you've got to try and play your best and then hope that they have a bad game. He's one of them. He was very good. I think we look at his technique and the goals that he scored and all his highlights, but just the little things that he does, his movement, the way he can make you switch off, and then then he has a quick little bit of movement, lull you into a false sense of like security, and he's gone. Just a very difficult matchup he was always.
You must have played. I mean, your period in the Prem, like the strikers around back then. I mean, there's always good strikers. Now it's different, right? Wide forwards. But what you would have played with in terms of two up front back then.
The two is the difference because you both centre backs are occupied, whereas now it's normally one, isn't it? So you got a bit of cover. But yeah, back then you look at like Drogba and Torres up front. It's just.
What do you do?
So you're just up for a battle the whole game, but that's what you play for. You loved it.
Indeed. All right, we're taking your calls now. We spoke earlier, didn't we, about Everton and how the fans are feeling ahead of a new season. Obviously, look, new stadium, second season in it. Not much has happened in the transfer window as well. There have been murmurings regarding Everton fans and David Moyes. Let's go to the phone lines. 03717 223344. Let's go to Mark first. Mark, how are you feeling approaching the start of the new season? Not long left to go.
Nah, it's very much like every season at the moment, isn't it? It's what to expect, but you're just waiting for that like Ashley said, that hope, that sort of like spark to kick in, you know?
Yeah, in that spark, obviously, normally it's a player coming in, even being linked with a current player, maybe taking that step up. What is it? What are you looking for? I mean, Liam Delap's linked. Would you be happy with Delap?
Yeah, I mean, look, I remember years ago when Moyes first came, he brought in players like Cahill and Kevin Morellis and people like that. I think Everton haven't got the right recruitment with like the South American market and stuff. You know, Hackney's great, and Jai came cheap from Marseille, but like, I think when you look at all the other Premier League clubs of like Bournemouth and teams like that, recruiting from the South American market, then we're missing a trick here. I really do. You know?
It's interesting he says that, isn't it? A great call, Mark. It's interesting. You look at Bournemouth and Brighton and you think, where are they finding these players from that no one else seems to be able to find?
Yeah, Brentford
nothing.
as well.
Brentford as well, yeah.
It's now...
What's happened to scouts?
I don't know. I don't know, but the recruitment is so key at the minute because you lose... It seems to be that there's such a turnover of players. Like, when do we ever see a player playing for one team his whole career? It doesn't really happen anymore. So you lose players. So your recruitment now becomes so important. I think he's got a point. Like the recruitment at Everton, where is it? What are they doing? Where are they looking? Why can't they find that next gem? Like the Rayan, that type of player.
Igor Thiago up front.
Where? Why aren't they finding them? They can definitely attract that type of profile of player. So why are you not finding it? That's probably a first point of call to address that situation because you're not bringing them in. They are getting a lot of British players, and then they're getting a lot of players that not really working out. So there is gems out there.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Royston, Everton fan as well. Royston, how are you feeling? And how are you feeling towards the manager as well, David Moyes? I thought he'd done a good job last season, but obviously if you're an Everton fan, you want him to do a bit better than good.
Hi, fellas. To be honest, I've just been driving down the M1 and I was prompted to phone you because I disagreed so much with everything you said in terms of Moyes. I think if you were to look at the fan sites where the Evertonians of, all backgrounds, over the last few seasons, he's had quite a lot of support as he came into the club. We thought he'd stabilise us. And I don't think he has in reality. He got one more point than Dyche. He had a dreadful end to the season. He's uninspiring. He lacks strategy at nearly every level. If you want to watch a team that effectively has got no inspiration, then have Moyes in charge. To be honest, I was really, really curious across the summer because we were told all the while that Moyes was going to be working for talkSPORT when it came to the World Cup, and then he didn't go. And I don't know why he didn't go, but I was hoping, and I think loads of us were hoping, that the Freakins were going to give him the bullet and appoint someone who actually knows how to manage our club.
So your time, and look, obviously, look, you support the club, you're season ticket holder, you know, you've been watching it a lot longer than I have, but you obviously, your time's up with Moyes, you've had enough.
My time was up with Moyes a long time ago. My time was up with Moyes when I understand all the people in the back room and places like the canteen and otherwise at Finch Farm, the training ground, all cheered when he left the last time. I didn't want him back. He's always been a dour manager.
All right, okay. You know, they always say the grass isn't greener. Who would you take? Because I look at Everton Football Club, and the last 10 seasons, I think it's been 9 managers, maybe more. Yeah. Like, I mean, how many times can you keep switching and trying to hope for? Because you've had everything, haven't you? You've had different profile. Ancelotti, big profile. Ronald Koeman. Then you have progressive ones like Marco Silva, experienced ones like David Moyes. What is going to work? What's the solution?
I couldn't tell you what name. I'm not here to. I didn't phone you to say X, Y, or Z. But I think I'd like the idea of. A moment ago, you were talking about lack of recruitment or otherwise. I don't think young players or anyone inspirational will come to Everton whilst Moyes is there. He won't play them. He'll look for what he refers to as experienced old heads. Wow. And those players, in the most part, are just spoilers. They drag it out. It's dreadful. I went to a match with my dad last season, A guy who had a season ticket next to us at half-time left. He said, I just can't bear to watch this. And that was with Grealish on the pitch. Now, Grealish in himself, a great name, fantastic, but the fella doesn't run. The fella stands still and waits for a pass and then distributes.
Royston, great call. Honestly, it's good to get both sides of it. Obviously, you had a fan say Moyes is doing a good job. You have one in Royston saying basically get him out of the club. I think Everton fans have got to be careful when they do that. This is an Everton side. For the last couple of seasons, they've been teetering around relegation. Teetering, like there. You almost felt like they're going to go down under Frank Lampard. I remember that period. Here comes David Moyes. They move to a new stadium. Yes, it's not great football, but he keeps them up. And that's the most important thing in a new stadium. And now you hear it. And I think he's speaking for a lot of Everton fans. They want him out.
Yeah, no, and that is what we said. They need some excitement, whether that comes from new signings, whether that comes from a cup run or the style of football. And that is the one thing we did say. That could be a criticism, that it's not entertaining to go and watch his teams. And your opinion is allowed if you're an Everton fan, whether you want to be entertained or you want to win games. As you said, you would like both, I'm sure.
They're getting nothing right now, isn't it? I think that's the issue. They're not winning games. They're not getting entertainment in terms of football. The new stadium, I guess, will be a bit soulless now. Yeah. So if you're an Everton fan and the season tickets won't be cheap, you're thinking, what are we doing?
Yeah, but then the question goes to what you said is who? Eddie Howe's just left. If you get him, okay, fair enough. But where are you gonna? Because if you can't recruit any players, you're not going to recruit the right coach either. You're not a Bournemouth. You're not. They're not one of those type of clubs. They could probably recruit some recruitment team to start off with, and then I get it. I get if you're an Everton fan that style of football might not be entertaining, which is where the gripe comes from.
All right, we might continue this because, again, loads of Everton fans giving us a call. Still to come, we are going to be finding out which of Ashley's former teammates was the biggest prankster. It could have been Ashley himself, might not have been a teammate. But first, it's time for no Googling. All right, Ash, you ready? You messed up the first one.
Can we have an easier one, please?
Don't know. This is going to be tough as well. All right, which two players share the record for the most own goals in a single Premier League season? Which two players share the record for the most own goal? It's not you.
Okay.
It's not you. The answer isn't you.
Okay.
He's got 4 minutes to have the answer when we come back.
Liverpool are set to place an opening bid for Bradley Barcola, but what PSG want and what Liverpool are willing to offer at the moment seems quite far away.
Yeah, there's a goal for valuation, but that's normal. PSG's starting position is £145 million. And my information is that in terms of the fixed fee, Liverpool are looking at roughly 80 million, maybe some add-ons on top. But that's the starting point. And knowing this is going to be a difficult negotiation because of PSG's starting position and the fact that they haven't signed Yan Diomande, Liverpool might need to be patient. And my expectation is it might run a similar course to Alexander Isak. And by that, I don't mean the player will agitate and go on strike. But what I do mean is with Alexander Isak, Liverpool placed what they thought was a fair offer early. When it was rejected, they waited until right towards the end of the window and the deal got done in the final hours. And you may note that Newcastle went from not for sale to 125 million, and somewhere in the middle, they were asking for 150 million about 3 weeks before the deal got done. So PSG's starting position, 145, very normal in deals for that to come down by 20 to 25 million. If Liverpool are prepared to go up by 10 or 15 million, suddenly the parties are not that far apart. So the first bid...
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules behind it? Back when association football started, pitches could be 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs have been rebels, not intentionally but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge just to adjust. Today, Forest Pitch at the City Ground is a big one, 2 metres wider than others. But the smallest of all? Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 metres wide. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too, such as Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, where the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. So UEFA have their standards, so do the FA, but they give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long, between 45 and 90 metres wide. Just imagine a pitch that's 120 metres long and 45 wide. Madness. So there you have it. There is a standard size and most teams do generally follow it. But as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Good afternoon, you listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo, Ashley Williams. I talk really fast, but I'm going to fly through this because I want to do this Pep Best 11 and I want to really get into it. A few moments ago, we brought you this afternoon's second no Googling question. We asked which two players shared a record for the most own goals in a single Premier League season. The answer is...
I've got nothing for you.
None. Zero.
No, I have no idea.
Can't even have a guess.
No, I don't have nothing.
All right. Martin Skirtle and Lewis Dunk, 4 goals each.
Oh, Dunk.
Oh, here we go. Dunk. I had nothing, but I got Dunk now.
Yeah. I had Dunk.
Dunk. All right, still to come. We're going to have some fun with the best of talkSPORT. But now let's hear from golfer Charlie Hull, because she spoke to the media early this week in the lead up to the Women's Open, and she revealed a prank that she played on her caddy.
Actually, talking of money today, I was in the went to a prank shop in Blackpool last night, and I got some scratch cards. So we go into the players' lounge this morning, and I was like, Rads, I got some scratch cards from the shop. He was like, yeah. And this one was like $100,000, and we've got it all on record. He's like scratching it. He's like, oh my gosh, I've won. He's taking his hat off, he's taking his glasses off. He's literally running around the players' lounge saying, I've won $100,000. I'm taking today off. His face looks so happy. He was sweating, he was trembling, he couldn't believe his luck. And then we had to tell him it was fake, and he nearly quit the job.
Only she laughed. That read the room. Read the room. No one even prompted her to even talk about this.
But it's so awkward.
So bad.
That she owes him.
I don't know.
I think she owes him. Yeah, she owes him.
Yeah.
I'm all for a bit of banter, but come on, man.
Wrong.
No, I'm not having that one.
Yeah, I don't know what the average caddy gets, but I mean, it sounded like that was a lot of money to him.
It's a lot of money to anyone.
A lot of money to anyone.
Like, come on, man.
Not to you, Ash.
Hey.
Stuff it, Ash. Stuff it. 7 years in the Prem, stuff it, Ash. Doesn't deny it either, does he? The tax man's listening.
I'm doing the scratch cards too.
Yeah, that's wrong, though. Honestly, that's wrong. Pranksters, you must have been around quite a few in the dressing room.
Yeah. If I've one that stands out, which is mad, but it was Gareth Bale.
Really?
Gareth Bale, yeah, international trips was just like a big kid, always up to something. And because it's international, you got so much downtime in the hotel. He's just the usual stuff, water buckets on the doors, and
I can't imagine.
That was him all day, just stupidity all day. But it sounds silly, but when you're together for so long,
it helps.
It helps.
Yeah, it keeps everyone on their toes. It's a bit of fun as well. All right, let's touch on Man City, because talkSPORT understands that they're closing in on the signing of Lille's 18-year-old midfielder, Ayoub Boadi, having agreed personal terms with him. Boadi was, of course, one of the breakout stars of the World Cup for Morocco, with Lille reportedly wanting £86 million for him. 18 years old, £86 million.
Money's gone crazy, huh?
He's played like 5 times for Morocco.
He did look pretty good, though.
He looked good, but 86.
No, that's crazy, but it's just what it is now.
Yeah, I mean, they see Elliot Anderson fee. Morgan Rogers, 1 second, he's worth that.
Yeah, but you can put anything on him now.
Yeah, any number.
Yeah, but I would say he was a standout straight away. As soon as we watched him, you go, okay, yeah, he's a good player, but he's only 18.
Yeah, so when people talk about like Rodri replacement,
no, don't get carried away.
Yeah.
Please, don't.
Stop, right?
Yeah.
Even for him, the pressure on him alone.
Yeah,
Like, leave me alone. Don't put that pressure on. How can I be the replacement for one of Spain's greatest ever midfielders?
But actually saying that, do you know what is interesting? Busquets' replacement lived up to the hype.
Good shout.
Do you know what I mean? Normally that doesn't happen. Has he surpassed
Busquets?
Rodri, yes, Rodri.
Do you want to get into this?
If you want, it's up to you. Let's do this. Well, what do you think?
I think he surpassed him.
I have to agree.
You know what the issue is? Anyone listening to this will watch a YouTube clip of Busquets and they'll probably message in saying, "Addy, you're talking rubbish."
But can we just say that when you have these conversations, it doesn't mean Busquets is bad at all.
Exactly.
He's amazing.
1A, 1B.
Probably Rodri in my book, in my opinion. Yeah. Anyway,
Pep's obviously now feet up, sun lounge, whiskey in hand, cigar in the other hand. He's chilling. So I thought it was a good time, now that we know Pep has pressed pause in his managerial career, at least for this season, that we do a Pep best 11.
Yeah.
So you're looking at those Barca teams, which is probably the greatest football team ever, the Bayern Munich team, which he doesn't really get much credit for, and this Man City team, right? Or the Man City team for the last decade or so. Should we try and do this?
We can.
Yeah?
I've got one in front of me.
All right. Should we, goalkeeper, Victor Valdez, Manuel Neuer, Edison, or Donnarumma?
Neuer.
Yeah. It's funny because that is an easy answer, but the others are so good. Neuer. Centre-backs. Options. So we've got Jerome Boateng, we've got Piqué, we've got Puyol, we've got Company, we've got Stones, we've got Diaz, we've got Laporte. What two are you picking?
I'm going with Puyol and Vincent Company.
Right back, Walker, Banked, or I jumped too quick.
But we've got an issue.
What's the issue?
The issue is at left back. So let's just stick with.
I see what you're doing. He wants to try and get Dani Alves and Walker in. I see what you.
No, I ain't even. I'm not. I'm going Philip Lahm.
Where?
Left back. He can do that for me.
I'm not mad at that.
He can do that for me.
He can do anything.
Yeah,
And then with Walker or Dani Alves?
Walker.
I'm going to Dani Alves.
Listen, that's just because I've watched Walker more than Alves. That's
never argue. You know when a professional footballer talks?
It's my opinion.
Yeah, no, Addy. 2 games for Essex schools. I'll keep quiet. I'll keep quiet. All right, the 3 in the midfield. Now, for years, this was banked. It was Busquets, it was Xavi, it was Iniesta. Over the last few years, Kevin De Bruyne has come to the table. So has Rodri, David Silva, Bernardo Silva, maybe. The floor is yours. What's the midfield 3?
Are you? Am I restricted in playing the same formation that Pep?
We're not going to go Kevin De Bruyne left wing. We're not doing that.
Well,
we're not doing that.
Okay, Rodri.
Ooh, the first name on the team sheet.
Rodri.
Yes.
Xavi and Iniesta.
Okay, so no De Bruyne.
No De Bruyne, no Busquets.
Wow.
Well, I can't.
By the way, Xabi Alonso, I missed out Alonso Bayern Munich period. Would that still those 3?
Yeah, I have to.
Rodri, Xavi, and Iniesta. Okay, front 3. Should we go through the middle first?
Haaland.
Wow, that's quick. Aguero.
We could go forever on this, but you're forcing me to pick one person.
Yeah.
So.
Is it obvious that I'm not sure write his name, Messi?
Yeah.
So there's one more position on that left side. And now you're looking at Ribéry, You're looking at Pedro. You're looking at Sterling, potentially as well.
David Silva.
Not really.
That's where he's playing.
Okay, cool. That's a strong team. So no Raheem Sterling.
No, but this is a.
Oh my god!
You asking
one
me
second.
a lot of difficult.
Oh my
things
god!
today.
Haaland over Lewandowski.
Yeah. I've already. I've had that in my head.
Okay. Haaland over David Villa.
Why do you look?
Spain's all-time top goal scorer.
Why do you look so disappointed?
Won the Euros and the World Cup. I'm just saying.
Are you taking it so personal?
I don't know. How dare you? That's an incredible team. So Neuer, Walker, Puyol, Company, Philip Lahm on the left side, Rodri, Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, Haaland, Silva. I mean, he's worked with just incredible talents, hasn't he?
And what's crazy to think is he's probably made all of those better as well. If they weren't good enough in the first place.
Yeah, and it's the craziest thing about Pep. About Pep as well is how many managers is he sort of earthed as well? You think Arteta's come off for him?
His coaching
Xabi
tree is
Alonso,
unreal.
Company, look how good Company is. There's Maresca now. Yeah. Like, it's just almost like what Sir Alex did, where he felt like there was this manager splintered off him. Now Pep's doing the same thing.
Yeah, they must just pick it all up. Everything that he's saying, they're just absorbing it in, and then they go on and they all play similar, not exactly the same.
No, you're right.
But you can see traces of what Pep does in
philosophy.
that game. Yeah.
On a player that you didn't mention, me and Rory were having arguments from Monday to yesterday, like debate. It got violent in here.
Okay,
I'm not joking. Stones or Van Dijk, and he was saying John Stones is better than Virgil van Dijk, and I lost the plot. Ash. I said I'm not having that. Ash, I'm not having it. Ash, don't you dare.
Wait,
what's it?
It's not a foregone conclusion. It's not.
I'm arguing with a Premier League centre back here.
Why? What? Tell me your reasons.
I think Virgil van Dijk is better at everything than John Stones. Every attribute John Stones does, apart from bringing the ball out into midfield.
So that not everything then.
Apart from one. I don't know what the 10 top attributes are for a centre back. But I think of the 10, I think Virgil van Dijk has 9 of them.
I'm not as sure as you are. I can't.
This is good. No, this is good. John will be happy to hear this. This is good.
Yeah. Well, I think he's another one that sometimes is a bit underrated, actually.
Can I ask you another question then?
Go on then.
Sorry, I love all this stuff. I don't often see you, Ash. This is good.
Go on then.
Top 5 Premier League centre backs.
What of all? Right now? Or?
Yeah, right now, Ash.
Right now.
No, of all time.
Vidic.
Yeah.
John Terry, Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah. Virgil, come on, Ash. Take your.
Do you know what my problem? Do you want me to say my problem with? No, it's not that. It's just look at the strikers that those centre backs had to face compared to Virgil. And that's not his. He can't do anything about that.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, okay, I'm not against putting him in that top 5 at all. I just think they had to play against world-class strikers week in, week out.
Okay, so you got Vidic, you got Rio, you got Terry. I pushed Virgil in.
Go on, yeah.
One more. Company, maybe?
Yeah, there you
Company?
go. Yeah. I'm comfortable with that.
All right, so just very quickly, Stones, Van Dijk, you said who?
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not against it. I'm just saying I can't be as like you go and Van Dijk. I'm not going to argue for 4 days with someone about it. I don't feel that strongly about it at all.
He said Van Dijk, by the way, just to clear that up. All right, when we come back, Commonwealth Games update.
You noticed that on social media, Curtis Jones liked the posts where Inter Milan announced Stones as a player.
He's acting like a spoiled brat. I saw his behaviour last night on the pitch.
This was after the friendly.
Yeah, I understand the frustration that you should have got the armband. He's been, he's a scouser. He's been there 20 years. Blah 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 blah. But to act like that and for it to carry on, because it went on for about 2 minutes.
Was it him and Dominic Szoboszlai?
Yeah, he was having a go at Szoboszlai, who handed the armband over, I think, to Tsimikas. Mm-hmm. And I believe Curtis Jones had the temper tantrum over that. it's just like that behaviour can't happen. Not from a graduate from the academy. He's too into himself. So if he wants
is
to
the
go,
source of his frustration not so much the captain's armband in a pre-season friendly, it's the fact he wants to leave, is it?
yeah, okay, so he wants to leave. Well, okay, now Liverpool have to get the best deal for the football club. That's how it works, okay? You don't get to throw your toys out of the pram and do it slowly, knowing him, and then act like that. I just don't understand it. You're playing for one of the biggest football clubs in the world. You came through the system. Behave. Stop. That's all eyes are on you. That's not behind closed doors. That might go on in training and all those things, but you don't want to see that going on actually for millions of people to watch.
And it's not great for Andoni Iraola, fresh in the manager's.
No, and I'm sure he'll move past that. And I think Szoboszlai was asked in the press conference, and he didn't even talk about it. But.
Good afternoon, you listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Just coming up to 6 o'clock, myself, Adi Oladipo and Ashley Williams in partnership with Giacomo get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Still to come, we're going to be hearing your questions in WhatsApp. Williams, but just quickly, Cole Palmer has joked that he'll send the bailiffs round to Morgan Rogers' house if he uses the trademark cold celebration this season. A bit of breaking news as well. John Stones, happy for him. John Stones has joined Inter Milan on a free transfer. I think he's going to do really, really good in Italy. And right now we can get an update from the Commonwealth Games. Watching for talkSPORT is John Cushion. John.
Yeah, I'm running out of fingers and thumbs to count how many medals we're winning from a home nation point of view this evening. So let me try and run them through with you. In the boxing, we've won 5 bronze medals for home nations so far on semi-final day, including Rosie Eccles from Wales in the light middleweight. But that actually means they lost their last 4 bouts, if that makes sense. So they get a bronze medal because they lost, but 10 more winners from the home nations will now go for gold tomorrow. So 10 winners we've had today, they all go to the final tomorrow. There's another 5 home nations fighters in action tonight. It's very busy in the world of boxing. In the velodrome, a gold for Wales, a silver for England, a bronze for Scotland. In the women's individual pursuit, Anna Morris setting a games record as she beat British Olympic teammate Josie Knight in the final. Erin Boothman won the bronze for Team Scotland, and Scotland's Finn Graham has just won the bronze in the men's C1-3 time trial. Also, British rider Matt Bostock is representing the Isle of Man, and he will go for bronze in the next few minutes in the men's individual pursuit. The last time an Isle of Man athlete won a cycling medal was 12 years ago here in Glasgow in 2014. Also winning medals in the judo, bronze for Summer Shaw of Scotland and Tatum Keane from England. Alicia Toprak goes for gold tonight. She won silver for England 4 years ago. Scotland's Mel Woods is the Commonwealth 1500 metre champion, guaranteed. She came back on the track 2 days after winning gold to win it again in the rerun. And Georgia Hunter-Bell is the highlight on day 8 of the men's athletic of the main athletics evening session in the women's 800 metres tonight. It is going to be huge. It's on talkSPORT around 8:20 on talkSPORT 2. For last minute tickets, go to Glasgow2026.com. This is the Commonwealth Games and it's live across the talkSPORT network.
Top man, thank you very much. All right, it's now time for this. Here we go. This is the best of talkSPORT and Friends, where we run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across the talkSPORT network and, of course, our sister stations. Let's kick things off with a very strange breakfast show this morning. Here's a Man United fan telling us about his strange eating habits.
Any Starburst or any Chivits, I just eat the wrapper on.
Okay. So
I don't see any difference.
you don't see the difference between eating paper and not eating paper?
I know it sounds a bit crazy, but next time we get a Starburst...
No, that won't be happening. No. Next time we have a Starburst.
Next time we get a Starburst. 37 years old, Craig.
Next time you're at a kids' party. Oh, right, yeah. How did this begin? Why did you do it?
I honestly can't remember. I think it was in my teenage years. I just thought I'd try it, and then ever since the first one, it's carried on since then.
Wow. Look, each to their own. But no, absolutely not. Go on, what's your top 3 confectioneries? You like sweets?
Yeah.
Go on.
Chocolate. Dairy milk.
Stuff. Yeah.
But the whole nut one.
Yeah. Oh, good choice.
Yeah. Cheetos.
Crisps.
Yeah. And Percy Pigs.
You know what the problem with a Percy Pig is?
What? There isn't one.
There is, because you can eat so many. Just don't stop.
It's a good problem, isn't it?
You know, have you ever had chocolate eclairs?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, you didn't ask me, obviously, so it doesn't matter. You can ask me. That's right. It's mine. All right, sticking with today's breakfast show and strange food habits, here's Lee, the Chelsea fan, with an even weirder eating habit.
Right, Saturday mornings I have 2 boiled eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I then take the shell.
Yeah.
I put the shells in a pestle and mortar. Obviously, other implements are available.
Yeah.
And I crush the shell up.
Yeah.
Into so it's basically
powder,
like crushing an aspirin, right?
Yeah.
I then put some olive oil in it, mix it, put some avocado, onion and cucumber, chuck it in a blender.
I mean, there's nothing left. Right, yeah, go on. And then what'd you do with it?
Well, it's like a patty. You don't, obviously, I'll put the blender on a pulse. You don't blend it, and it's...
Lee, is there any scientific method in this? Is there anything that says if you eat the eggshell, it's like...
Yeah, why?
I honestly think it's too early for people in the morning.
What is that all about?
I don't understand. I wanted to hear the rest. Like, was it some sort of avocado paste? I wanted to know what the reason was. Is there any scientific fact that helps you? I don't know. I do like a good boiled egg, though.
Yeah, but that's fine, but what else?
Can we get him on? I want more. I want more of the story. Do you eat boiled eggs?
Yep.
How many eggs could you tackle in one sitting? See, Andros Townsend's made this famous, hasn't he?
How many does he have?
I think he has like 4 or 5.
Boiled eggs?
Yeah.
That's too many.
Is that too many?
2 is
farting problem.
There's a lot.
Mad farting problem.
2 is max 2.
Is that it?
Yeah, max 2 for me. What you got? You can do 3 boiled eggs?
Like easy. Can't you see like protein?
I can understand, but too eggy, man.
Yeah, they're very eggy, very, very eggy. All right, let's finish with a little bit of fun from last night's sports bar. Here's the former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant giving us a bit too much information.
How do you feel about people who like feet a little bit too much?
Listen, I understand it. I'm with it.
You're with it?
Yeah, some people, it's not a problem. I'm the same. I like...
Why?
Okay, Jermaine. Told you, Jermaine. Yeah. With Jermaine, you just don't know what's going to happen. That's going to happen. Has he got a point?
I'm not with it.
You're not with it?
No,
okay, just happy I didn't have to ask you the rest. You're not with it at all?
No, I don't. No, he didn't really explain. I don't get it. What?
He's got a foot fetish. That's what it sounds like. He's got a foot fetish.
Well, each to your own.
Yeah, each to their own too. Jermaine, up to you. Do whatever you want. No one's judging at all, Jermaine. Jermaine Pennant there. Make sure you get your calls in with Sports Bar. Return tonight, by the way, 10 o'clock. Adam Croucher's alongside Carlton. Carlton says anything as well, by the way. Carlton says trees talk to each other. It's a whole different discussion. Of course, you can find all our shows on the talkSPORT app, where you can swipe between talkSPORT, talkSPORT 2, and all of our sister stations, so you never miss a moment. All right, when we come back, just coming to 6 o'clock, we spoke about Everton. It's only right we speak about the Merseyside neighbours, Liverpool, infighting when it comes to the captain's armband. We'll explain more a bit later.
I mean, I wake up every morning now feeling so lucky that Unai Emery's still there.
Yeah.
Because people laugh about these FSR, whatever they're called, financial fair play rules. They're a joke. Look at Aston Villa, right? Finish in the top 4, win the Europa League, and then your best player, Morgan Rogers, leaves. Why can't Aston Villa keep hold of their best players and then say, we're going to get to spend 150 mil like Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and then why can't we go and challenge for the title? These rules, they're there to keep the so-called top 6 there.
Yeah.
And this season coming, the so-called top 6, they call it, will finish in the top 6. I'm sure of it.
Gab,
Aston Villa, with what they're able to bring in, aren't going to be able to challenge.
Gab, I've had a
surprised.
conversation with you.
This time last year, that Unai Emery, this time next year, we'll be lucky to have Unai Emery as the manager because it's great on every manager.
Gab, I've had a conversation with you before, and I've said that if a big club like Manchester United comes in for your manager or players, they'll leave. And you're like, no, that would never happen. How's Yuri Tillemans working out for you?
Yeah, but that's a release clause, isn't it? That's a stupid release clause for 35 million.
Could have stayed.
No, I agree. I don't blame him. He's 29. He's won. He scored a great goal in the final Europa League. Manchester United are a bigger club than Aston Villa. I understand why players would leave Aston Villa. But what I'm saying, Andy, is how, if it's Everton in a few years, if it's Sunderland, whoever it is that wants to try and break into that top 4 and try and do amazing things as a football club, you're restricted.
Knuckleball free kicks. They used to be all the rage, but when was the last time you saw someone score with one? We're going to take a look at why we're not really seeing them anymore and also explain a bit more about how they work. The knuckleball peaked in the 2010s, probably because that Ronaldo strike in 2008 inspired academy players everywhere. Here's a young Mason Mount.
I tried to base my free kick on Ronaldo, hit the ball by the valve and it moves. So what do you do? Top corner, top bins.
The name knuckleball comes from a baseball pitch held with the knuckles rather than the fingertips, which doesn't spin as it travels. Now, no ball is a perfect sphere, so as it travels, it creates ever-changing pockets of turbulent air, causing that unpredictable movement. Brazilian free kick specialist Juninho Pernambucano wasn't the first player to do it, but he did perfect it, scoring 77 free kicks over his career, more than anyone else. He was inspired by 90s midfielder Marcelinho Carioca and a guy called Didi, who was hitting knuckleballs in the 50s and 60s. Brazilians call it the dry leaf, because the ball looks like a leaf that gets blown around in the wind this way and that. So how do you do it? The key point is to hit the ball head on, usually with a straighter run-up. It's a punch-like shot and, crucially, as short a contact time as possible so the ball doesn't spin. Some people think players hit the valve to affect the air inside the ball. That's not the reason. It's because the part of the ball around the valve is more rigid, helping to shorten that contact time. Remember the David Luiz beauty against Colombia in the 2014 World Cup? We don't really see knuckleballs anymore. Why? Because players are being told not to shoot from dead ball situations because the XG is so low. In fact, as Opta shows here, since the 08-09 season, there's been a 10% reduction in players shooting from free kicks in the Premier League. In 23-24, a record low of 11 free kicks found the back of the net. And the knuckleball, by its very nature, is imprecise, which is why it's becoming a thing of the past.
Good evening, you're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo, Ashley Williams, just gone 6 o'clock with you until 7, still to come. We're going to find out what life before football was like for Ashley. Going to love some of these stories. But now, is there trouble at Liverpool ahead of what should be a good new season under Andoni Iraola?
For example,
right
footed from the edge of the penalty area, it is in. That's a magnificent set piece. And it is Liverpool's man of the moment, their best player this season, Dominic Szoboszlai.
I would like to give them a team that they can feel proud of, and it has to come from us, from inside the pitch.
I think he's 3 players short of competing for the title. I think they've got injuries in key areas. It's going to be a problem.
When Liverpool play well, when I've watched, Alexis McAllister has been the best player on the pitch.
Towards the back post, and it's headed into the net beautifully by McAllister. He's got them back into it.
Yeah, Andoni Iraola is heading into his first season as Liverpool boss after they lost the title to Arsenal last time out, but it seems he could already have a little bit of trouble within his squad to deal with it. All kicked off after their 1-0 pre-season win against Wrexham at the Yankee Stadium. You probably saw it, it's doing the rounds on social media. Midfielders Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones were involved in a heated, I think it's fair to say, on-field argument afterwards, along with defender Kostas Tsimikas. It's unclear what caused the exchange, although during the match, Szoboszlai gave his captain's armband to Tsimikas rather than to Jones when he was subbed off. And during the argument, Tsimikas was filmed throwing the armband on the floor. There's going to be an issue here. Look, we can see it now on our screens. You can see there's a bit of a back and forth between Tsimikas and Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk is the captain. The vice captain, I believe, was Mo Salah. Second after Mo was Andy Robertson. Those two have gone. So I guess there is a question about who is the vice captain. It is Dominic Szoboszlai. If you're Curtis Jones and you've been at the club since you were knee-high, should you feel a way that you weren't given the vice captain's armband? And I guess it's a bit more of a bigger and broader conversation than what we saw there. But if you're Curtis, will you be upset?
Well, it depends. Just because he's been at the club, it doesn't mean to say that
he's captain material.
Yeah,
even, yeah.
But it seems like we're missing some other information out, because I can't see what if he feels like he should have had it, then that's fair enough. That's his opinion. I don't know why it was given to Tsimikas. I don't really understand what's going on. What I don't like is, and this might be a bit old-fashioned, is I don't know why it's the armband's ever thrown on the floor.
I hate that.
That's disrespectful. But I don't understand. But maybe he should have got the armband and wasn't given it, and that's why he's got the ump about it. I'm not sure. From the outside looking, we don't know what these personalities are like necessarily in the dressing room. But Curtis Jones, to me, at that football club, looks to be a potential captain in the future if he stays around.
Yeah.
You'd like to think so. He seems like that type of character that will drag his team through.
He seems to want it.
Yeah, 100%.
And again, if you're upset about a captain's armband in a pre-season game, some might look at it as throwing your toys at the pram. For me, it's just, even if it is a pre-season, you want that. You want that chance, you want that pressure. Because it's an honour to, again, captain your club.
A massive club like that, yeah, exactly. And the armband shouldn't have got thrown on the floor by any means at all.
Indeed.
But it seems like there's more going on.
I think there's a wider conversation. There's a lot of talk about Curtis Jones potentially to Inter Milan.
Mm-hmm.
So you do wonder if there's more issues for Andoni Iraola to put out before the start of the season. All right, I want... Szoboszlai spoke to the media afterwards, by the way, and I really want you to pay attention to this because Szoboszlai spoke and he dropped, and I don't think he meant to, but he accidentally dropped a hint about the future of Liverpool midfielder Alexis McAllister. Listen to this.
For example, Flo is the same example, Ryan is the same example, Maka if he comes back, Curtis, Alex, obviously Virgil, Ali, Joey. So we are all in the same boat, and we want the best for the...
Did you catch it? What he said, he basically, give a bit of context, he was speaking about sort of players at the club and how obviously the young players are coming through and how everyone really is fighting for the same cause. And he said, if Maka comes back, I'll play it again. Can we play it again one more time? Play it again. He actually says, if Maka comes back.
For example, Flo is the same example, Ryan is the same example, Maka if he comes back, Curtis, Alex, obviously Virgil, Ali, Joey. So we are all in the same boat, and we want the best for the club and for each other.
Am I reading too much into that?
No, you're not.
Am I? Every time some people accuse me of causing trouble and starting fires, he clearly says if he comes back.
Yeah. So when you first told me about this morning, I was like, no. But now I listened. There's a definite difference.
Yeah,
in the way he says it.
All the other players, if he comes back,
which suggests that maybe there might be nothing in it. But why? I don't know why he said if. Yeah. I don't know if this is something to do with Well, now we're getting deep into conspiracy theory, but the Argentina situation coming back, I don't know.
Who knows, right?
Yeah, I don't
Who
know.
knows? And there's always been this link with, always, the last season or so. And I get it. When you buy players, especially from South America, their dream's always to play for Real Madrid or Barcelona.
Yeah.
The dream's not to play for Liverpool. I'm not stupid to think so. And I think if McAllister's been hinted at or looked at by Real Madrid, if they can't get Rodri, some sort of Rodri replacement will be McAllister, you can understand. But when I hear that, it's clear that conversations are happening about McAllister potentially not returning to Liverpool.
Yeah, probably inside the football, with the players.
And they will be very unhappy with Szoboszlai doing that.
Yeah, well, I guess now you've brought it up, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but it just the way he said it suggests. Look, we don't know. He might have just said it, and there's nothing to it. But the way he named off the players, just like as if they're coming back, and then
it's like
if. Well, what do you mean? If where did that come from?
Yeah, on Liverpool, obviously, look, new manager Andoni Iraola, who I think is fantastic. It's a big step up. Bournemouth to Liverpool, massive step up. He's never played Champions League football, managed in the Champions League either, so that's going to be difficult. When you look at this Liverpool squad, I think Arsenal are favourites by a mile. How much more do Liverpool need in order to kind of bridge that gap when you look at Liverpool?
Well, the main thing, the main fix that I think he has to fix, regardless of personnel, is just the consistency.
Yeah.
That last year they were so inconsistent. You don't know which
crazy,
Liverpool was going to turn up. So I do think they have the right man for the job. I really like him. The thing that impresses me the most about him is he doesn't moan. He just get whatever he's dealt, he deals with it and he makes it work. So that's refreshing. Hopefully he goes in there and he takes that same attitude towards it, and he can manage just how big, like how big that football club is. So big, and there's so many more moving parts than there is at Bournemouth. So hopefully he's able to manage that. I'm guessing he came from Bournemouth where they recruit well, so he knows all of that. I'm guessing he'll have his eye on some players that he wants to bring in at some point. If he doesn't, I do think he's the type of manager to go, I've got good players in there, I'll make them even better and I'll fit them into my style of play. And then I don't know, we're yet to see. It's difficult. It's really difficult to start the season to say they're going to do this. We'll place them here. And we always, pundits, we always have to choose 1, 2, 3, 4. It's impossible.
We all get it wrong all the time.
Always get it wrong. So we don't know how it'll work out. I want it to work out for him because I think he's a really good coach, really humble person. I think that it will work out for him.
Yeah, the rise of the Spanish managers.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many now. When you look at the Prem, I think I could be wrong. I think it's 5, which could be more than any other sort of nationality in the Prem. I think Alvaro Arbeloa, Maresca, Doni, obviously Unai Emery is there as well.
Spain are good, aren't they? They produce good football players
and great managers.
Yeah, exactly. And they play a really. They're all a little bit different. All the ones you just named are a little bit different, but they know what they want. They're not haphazard. They don't change from week to week. They've got a style. It's a definite style. When you're analysing the game, you know exactly what's coming. They execute it well. It'll be really interesting to see how he matches up with this Liverpool squad.
All right, Liverpool did play Wrexham at the iconic Yankee Stadium in a friendly. Liverpool won that game 1-0. On Wrexham, and it's good to speak to you about this. Obviously, look, former Welsh international, you know the area very, very well. Me growing up, when I thought of Welsh football, I thought of Swansea and Cardiff. Because Wrexham, they had their period, but obviously then eventually sort of fell down the leagues. Now they're right back up in the leagues. They're in the Championship, hoping for Premier League football next season. What did the rest of Wales think of Wrexham in terms of how they've sort of found this newfound sort of fame, if you like?
Yeah, so I am the voice.
You are the voice of Welsh,
right?
Yeah, right. The voice of Welsh football.
No, but in my opinion, I think it's really good for Welsh football. So just like you said, it used to be always Cardiff, Swansea, and you had Wrexham and Newport that kind of weren't in the conversation. Now there's 3 teams in the conversation in the Championship. Wrexham just missed out on the playoffs. So all of that is great for Wales, especially for North Wales. Sometimes I feel like they get missed out a little bit. Yeah, it's just South Wales. In international games, they bring loads of fans from up north down. So I'm glad they've got, even if they're not a Wrexham fan per se, they've got a team up there that's gathering. But with the whole Hollywood thing and all the noise around it, my concern is it just takes away from the actual football pitch, which I've said before in this show.
Yeah.
But let's keep it on the football pitch. And to be fair, they've actually nailed it on the football pitch as well. The team's been good. They've promotion. Just missed out on the playoffs last year. So it is good for Welsh football in general. We're going to get a lot of North Walian kids that are watching this Wrexham team that go on to play for Wales.
Yeah.
So at least that's not dormant up there now. Now it's active. We've got a team up there that are successful. So the more Welsh teams, hopefully Newport can kick on, and you get more Welsh teams that are doing well, successful, and it's good for the Welsh national team.
Would there be an element of jealousy about how quick and how they've done this? And owners come in, and look, by the way, the two owners are always there. I think that's one thing to point out. They're always there. They go to the away games as well. They seem to be, yes, it's a business for them, but they seem to be invested in the whole thing as well. But ultimately, they've come in, they've spent a lot of money. They've paid players in League One more than players normally get in League One just to kind of make this jump. Would there be an element of jealousy, envy pointed towards them?
Possibly, but that's just
just football, I guess. It's life.
What can you do about it? It's there, and I echo what you said. Is at least they're not just throwing money at the problem and letting someone else deal with it. They are always at the stadium. When I went up there, met them, and met the fans. The fans have met, like they're there. They're accessible to the fans. They're not. It's not some. You don't just watch Deadpool on the TV and don't meet Ryan Reynolds. He's actually on the ground meeting the fans. So fair play to them for that. They've put their money where their mouth is. The team's successful, and they're there watching, and you can see. I don't think when they score a goal and the camera pans to them, it's for the camera. No, they're genuinely happy.
They are actors though.
Yeah, they could.
They are. These are Oscar-nominated actors.
That's a fair point.
Cameras on us in 3 too.
Maybe they got no interest in.
Yeah. We know what to do here, boys. Liverpool fans, look, I want to hear from you. Get in touch. 03717 22 3344. Is there any concern? I guess there will be. But is there real concern ahead of the start of the new season? A lot of characters, a lot of leaders now at the club. Andy Robertson, Mo Salah. And it does seem like a lot of kids around at the moment. Obviously, Big Verge is now back from his little pre-season relaxation after the World Cup. But there must be a bit of a worry as you approach the start of the season. And why are Wrexham playing Liverpool, the mighty Liverpool at the Yankee Stadium? They don't deserve this, do they? Get in touch. 03717 22 3344.
Up and said you got 10 players better than John Stones.
I said all time. I didn't say Prem, but let's stick to Prem. All right, let's do this.
Go on.
Virgil van Dijk, John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, that's five.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we going Tony Adams?
Ooh, yeah.
No,
you're not gonna say.
No, but go on.
I would.
Campbell.
I'd do Sol Campbell, defo.
And I'm a Tottenham
Sol
fan.
Campbell, come on, Jamie.
Keep going.
I'm going Sol Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh. Gary Pallister.
Carvalho.
Mate, come on.
Carvalho.
Don't help him. Why are you helping him? Carvalho's not better than John Stones.
Carvalho. Ricardo Carvalho.
Jamie, hear me out.
Give me a break, man.
On his day, prime for prime, one game for a final, Ledley King.
Yeah, Ledley King. What, you telling me Ledley King? Oh, come on, Jamie.
Listen, Jamie, not the career, but for one game in his prime.
I watched John Stones playing the Champions League final.
I know he was
unbelievable. He was unbelievable. So don't.
I hear it, but
come on.
I think, I heard.
You can't be putting Ledley King above John Stones. He's won 6 Premier League titles.
Phil Jagielka, mate. Phil Jagielka.
Holy shut up, mate. Come on.
I mean, mate, Jamie.
Jolyon Lescott.
I would go as far as to say if Jan Vertonghen and Alderweireld played in that City team, they might have won the same honours.
Gary Cahill.
They would have won the same honours.
He's on Gary Cahill's level.
You're just making a lot of noise, Cole.
And you will get no hurt, mister. No, no, no. I said yeah. I said yeah.
Goodness, boy. That's Ryan, by the way. Ryan Clancy, give him his full name. Full props. If you're looking for a DJ this Saturday, good rates, come phone me first. We can arrange to get him down to your club to DJ. All right, listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo, Ashley Williams in partnership with Giacomo. Style and brands for every single man still to come. We are going to be hearing your questions in WhatsApp, Williams. But just quickly, Chelsea winger Mykhailo Mudryk is free to return to football immediately after the anti-doping disciplinary proceedings against him were resolved with the agreement of the World Anti-Doping Agency. Do you think Xabi Alonso's going to look at him? Would he look at him?
Well, I hope he does, because it's only fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
He wants to put eyes on him in pre-season. If he doesn't want him, then that's fair enough. But at least give the boy a chance.
Yeah, one thing he did have was just pace to burn.
Well, he has the potential to be a really, really top player.
Yeah.
But he just kind of wasn't putting all the pieces together, I don't think.
There must be a reason why Chelsea and Arsenal fight over you. Remember that fight for him? And look, fingers crossed. You almost want to see someone given another chance. I think the world we live in nowadays is you're done.
Yeah.
That's it. It's over, done for you. Look, he served his time. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can play football and be good again. I think he can be. Bournemouth have agreed a deal worth nearly £26 million for Benfica centre-back Antonio Silva. All right, before we take some calls, we thought we'd find out what life was like before you became a professional footballer. Because, you know, when you hear the stories of like Ian Wright and sort of footballers sort of becoming pro so late, you're like that. I mean, you had a normal job before football. There'll be a lot of footballers that have never had a job and they just went straight from school to football and that's all they know. Whereas for you, it was school, a bit of football, work, then football.
Yeah. I had a few jobs. I was rubbish at all of them.
Thank God you made it as a footballer.
No, I when I left school, I had a job at Drayton Manor theme park. But on the game, so you know, like the ring toss and the basketball.
Yeah.
I was trying to get people to do that. It was fun. You know what I mean? I was only young then. A petrol station, so I was a bit better at that one. And I was a waiter at a Beefeater, and I was the worst. In fact, in the end, they put me on dishwashing.
Was you? Bloody hell, by the way. Did you ever lose hope?
Yeah, loads. Like up and down. Not like totally, but there's a whole lot of days where you just feel so far from making it than being a football player, being I just wanted to be a full-time. I wanted to train every day. I wanted that to be my job, and it just seemed so far away at the time. And even then, when I signed for Stockport County and I was training every day, didn't get in the team for months. In the first team, was nowhere near that. So it's just a long process. And then, like looking back now, when you look back now, it's funny because everyone always talks. Oh, I remember the Premier League, the international, blah blah blah. But then you're like, well, actually, the journey was so long that you had to grind through all the leagues, go through the jobs, like you said. So, but it makes I wouldn't change it for the world because everything was in perspective for me. Like a hard day at football was never as hard as
a normal job.
Yeah, really. Yeah. So I appreciated all the different stages of my career.
You know, when you were playing sort of Southern League Premier Division, how did it come about, the Stockport thing? Did you know they were watching you? Did you go on trial there?
Yeah.
How did it come about?
Well, just at that point, I think I was like 17, 18 and playing for Hensford Town. And like, you know, you hear that there's some people are coming to watch you.
There's a scout over there, that guy with the glasses. Yeah,
he had glasses. His name was Gil Prescott, and he was at Oldham. So Oldham took me in on trial for a week. Hensford wouldn't let me go. Then he moved to Stockport. Then he took me to Stockport. I went on trial for a week again. They wanted to sign me. Sammy McElroy. Yeah. You remember him? He signed me. So yeah, but it's just trying to grind it through. Like when I'm talking to younger players now and that they feel in that position, I'm like, just work every day. Keep trying to get better. Work as hard as you can. And normally, if you just work it harder than everyone else, it's not rocket science. you'll get somewhere. Who knows? If you get the right breaks as well and you stay fit, you can move up the leagues. It's not that difficult. It's harder now. It is harder now than when I did it. But you just have to just get your head down and go for it.
I remember speaking to you earlier, and I was saying I went to the National League final, May just gone. I remember looking around thinking, God, there's some good players down there.
Yeah.
And that's National League.
Yeah.
And again, it's those type of players not getting the break, because I think a lot of scouts now go international, or they almost want the guaranteed thing.
Yeah.
So we're not going to take a punt on that young kid there. We're going to get the guaranteed thing for 50 million, because that's almost banked, rather than taking the risk.
And that's not even guaranteed.
Yeah, true.
It's not. We see it so many times, and it's not guaranteed. But the thing that drives me crazy is, like, you've got good young players, and why so many teams have got an academy and don't use that academy? Why do you have the academy?
What's the point? Yeah.
Try the boy. It might be good, might not be. Give him a little bit of a run. But I get it, because there's so much in it. Managers are always 2 weeks away from getting the sack, 3 weeks away from getting the sack. No one's got time to risk a younger player or a player from one of the lower leagues. But there's definitely a lot of quality down in the lower leagues and in people's academies. And you've had these players in your academy for X amount of years, put so much money into them, and they're just getting blocked because you're going abroad and bringing a player. And I'm not against that at all, but have a look in your own academy first. Maybe go and have a look at some players down in League 2, League 1, National League, like you said. There's good players down there. They just need a break. Give them the break. Give them a bit of confidence.
Was there ever a time that you sat back and thought, wow, like, again, where you've come from, you mentioned, you jokingly laughed about it, beefeater, petrol stations, and you're playing Premier League football, you're playing against some of the world's best players. You are now one of the best defenders in the league as well. You go into the Euros with Wales, 86 caps. Has there ever been a time when you sat back and thought, Jesus Christ, this has been some career?
Yeah. I was aware of it all throughout. Really.
Yeah, are you taking it in as you're taking those steps? Yeah.
Not like just sometimes, when you just sit there and you just think, geez, man, it weren't that long ago that I was just at the till at the petrol station, just what, and now I'm doing all these things that you just mentioned. So I was aware of it all the time, and obviously now I've retired and I look back and it's something that I can be proud of.
Any imposter syndrome?
Not really.
When you're taking those steps from League One, forget National League or sort of Southern Premier, but National League One to
not
the Prem.
really. My mindset was completely different. It was just I was just going after it, and anyone my way, I just wanted to move them out of the way and just go. I just wanted to challenge myself to see how far I could get, and then when I got to the Premier League, it was like, okay, so how far can you get in this centre half conversation or whatever it might be. So there was always something else to try and get to. Like, I never play Champions League, never got to a World Cup, but tried to get there. So there was just always something to try and go after. I didn't really, there was no like imposter syndrome, or I felt like, yeah, I'm here. I'm here and I want to get to the next step all the time, the next step.
And this is a tough question for a man that's played so many games as you have, but is there that one big moment?
Yeah.
What's the big moment?
I've got two probably. One is playoff.
I'll give you two.
Playoff final. I can't separate these. Playoff final win against Reading at Wembley. That was because the next day now I knew I wasn't going to get sold, but I'm now Premier League player. Football. So that's like a lifelong dream fulfilled. And the other one was quarter final beating Belgium in the semis.
Incredible.
Yeah, like
that was the Belgium team as well.
Yeah,
the Belgium team.
I think they was ranked first or second.
Yeah. For about 4 years, they were the number one team in the world, and you beat the number one team in the world.
And scoring a goal in the Euros. So then you go, okay, yeah, whatever. You scored a goal, but then when you take it into consideration that you was like trying to get people over to win a teddy on the basketball not that long ago, it's like sometimes you just sit after the game and your mind's blown.
Well done. This is going to be your third biggest achievement if you can do this, because it's time for no Googling. I gave him so much praise earlier, Ryan. I gave you so much praise. It's only 2 seconds, but those 2 seconds, sir. All right, here we go. The last one. Are you ready?
Let's go.
You haven't got the first two, I'll tell you that.
But can you make it realistic? Like, is this impossible again?
Maybe.
Okay,
maybe. Which player has scored against the most different teams in the Premier League? Which player? It is tough. These are getting harder, these no Googling questions. Which player has scored the most Which player has scored against the most different teams in the Premier League? Ash has no answer. I have the answer when we come back.
Staying with Liverpool, there are some reports that they have now made a formal offer worth £100 million for Bradley Barcola. I reported a couple of days ago that Barcola wanted to make the move to Anfield, but you've not been too inspired by this possibility.
No, I'm with Jamie Carragher in the camp that I saw him the other day talking about it. We have like 3-4 left wingers already, players who can play there. We need to fill the void by Salah. Frimpong was meant to help with that, but we know he's got medical injury issues last year and not quite what we like to see out wide right when he did play. We need a right winger. It's concerning. And we're going out and we're getting another pacey player who plays on the left the majority of the time. So unless Rio's going to get put on the right, square pegs, round holes, all that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't love it because of the money. If he was 60, 70 million, and I get it, he's not.
Yeah.
You think, okay, it's a no-brainer. Then you maybe sell Gakpo and you clear up some space on the left. And you still go get a right winger. But Liverpool right now are playing with one centre-back and the other centre-back on one leg. So, they've got issues. McAllister's going to come back. He was a shadow of himself last year. They need some help in central midfield. Potentially need a right-back because really we haven't got a right-back. Frimpong's obviously going to play in
Joe
there,
Gomez is now
else.
going to miss the start of the season.
Yeah, that's Joe Gomez. God bless him. Could have been a world-class defender, but obviously injuries have stopped that. So Liverpool have got a lot of holes to fill. So, and you got to start a right wing to fill Mo Salah's, departure. So it does concern me that we're going down this rabbit hole where we might end up paying, I don't know, like the Weirts money. You overpay, and then does the player adapt to the Premier League, and is it another bad signing? And it's frustrating for me.
When you think about famous F1 circuits, the likes of Silverstone, Monza, Monaco come to mind. One of these is not like the others though. Monaco is just one of a number of street circuits on the calendar, and that number's only set to rise. There's a clear difference between a traditional circuit and a street circuit. One is a purpose-built facility on private land, the other is, as it sounds, a race through the streets of a major city. Monaco is the famous example, twisting and turning through the streets of the Principality with iconic backgrounds and, let's be honest, not a lot of overtaking. But from 2026, there'll be a record 10 street circuits on the calendar. It proves that cash remains king. Each track promoter gives F1 between $20 and $60 million just for the rights to host an F1 race. And when Saudi Arabia pays upwards of $100 million, you can see why it's an attractive prospect for the sport. But is it all positive? Well, the drivers aren't that bothered. If you ask a majority of them, they'll tell you historic circuits at Silverstone, Spa, Monza, Zandvoort, they're the favourites. For the sports organisers, though, it kind of makes sense. In 2025, Monaco had a record 2.3 million strong viewership in the US alone. Meanwhile, for the British Grand Prix several weeks later, 1.5 million tuned in. So while these races may not be rip-roaring, all-out action, thrill rides we want as race fans, people are tuning in even more, and bosses can demand even more cash.
Look at him trying to make up for his mistake earlier. He's trying to play big tunes. This is it though, isn't it? This is like the song of summer.
A bit of UB40.
Yeah, a bit of UB40. You gotta love it. You love it, UB40. Go on, play it. Go on. Give it a bit.
Was enjoying it then.
If anyone can just get me a rum and coke, I'll be very happy. If anyone can provide that, please. All right, listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo, Ashley Williams. A few moments ago, we brought you the final no Googling of the evening. We asked which player has scored against the most different teams in the Premier League. And the answer is, Ash?
Ryan Giggs.
Quite a good guess, actually. I think that's a good guess. The answer is Frank Lampard. Scored against 39 different clubs. That was the tough one. It was a tough one. If you know football, you would have got it right. I'm joking. Following us from 7 o'clock, Ricky Haywood-Williams, host of Transfer Insiders. This evening, he has broadcaster and Villa fan Dan Bardell alongside him. But now, it's time for this.
What's up, Williams? What's up, Ashley?
What's happening, Williams?
What's up, Williams?
Hello, Ashley.
Yeah, this is What's Up, Ashley, where we give you the floor to ask former Premier League defender Ashley Williams anything your heart desires. All show, we've been asking you to send in some of your voice notes on WhatsApp. Now it's time to hear some of the best ones. All right, let's start with number one.
What's happening, Williams? I want to know, when you're playing in Merseyside derbies, but you're not from the city, do you still feel that hatred for Liverpool, or is it just another day at the office for you?
Great question. It's a great question.
I felt it through his
Yeah.
voice.
He's like, you better be hating them. You better.
No, you know what? Like, obviously not being from Liverpool, but they let you know straight. As soon as I got to the city, in the hotel, you go for a walk, whatever. It's the first thing they say to you straight away. We better beat them. It's like nothing else doesn't matter. They let you know. So you know, even if you aren't a fan of that team, you know how much it means to the rest of the fans, to all your fan base.
You would have obviously played Swansea, Cardiff.
Yeah.
You've done Everton, Liverpool.
Yeah, England, Wales.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, a few naughty ones there.
Yeah.
Can you compare them? Like the Swansea, Cardiff, is that? I mean, I'm asking which one's more toxic.
I think Swansea, Cardiff.
Yes,
that one was like always tasty. Fans, everything. That one seemed more intense than the other ones.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's hear another one. Go on.
What's up, Ashley? It's Tom here from Nottingham. You obviously played with Gareth Bale when you were together at Wales, but I just want to know, is he the best player to have never won the Ballon d'Or?
Some big players never won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, this came up the other day. Not this question, but who hasn't? And Thierry Henry didn't win it.
Ooh.
Maldini didn't win it. Neymar didn't win it. So I think
Mo Salah.
He's up there to win it. Gareth Bale when he was at the peak of his powers. But there's been a lot of good players as well that didn't win it.
Yeah. How special was he in that Wales team where it felt like, and obviously, it's 11, right? It's 11, it's the subs, but there were times where like, okay, give it to Gareth and he's going to do some magic. And he often did.
Was that, and we was happy enough with that. Like, we didn't ever think like, oh, we want some of the attention. It was like, no, keep a clean sheet and we've got a world beater here. Because he had that like 2 or 3 years where he was doing unreal things on I'm just at the back watching it going, wow, this is insane. I've never seen anything like it. So he was up there with the best in the world at one point.
Do you remember like when he transformed, like the transformation of Gareth?
I do.
I just think of Gareth as not dweeby, but you know what I mean? Just and all of a sudden one season he looked like Superman.
That's how it was for us. So he used to play left back next to me. I'm left side centre back, and it was just like Gaz. And then I don't know if it was a summer, but he come back and was like, whoa, like you look like you've grown, you've got muscle, you're faster than you was, you kick it differently, just everything. I don't know what he did that summer or whenever it was, but the transformation was the most dramatic I've ever seen of anyone.
Yeah, and it worked, right? He went on to be one of the best players in the world for a period. All right, let's listen to another one.
What's up, Ashley? Darren here from Norwich. You played with Bojan and Gerard Deulofeu. Is the Barcelona DNA obvious in them when you train?
By the way, before you answer, that was fantastic.
That was.
It's weird how he does that and this has a normal voice.
Yeah.
Hello, Ashley. So after,
It was like weekend voice and then back in the office voice.
9 to 5. Yeah.
No, good question. I think Bojan definitely was like Barcelona through and through, the way he played, like so good. Actually couldn't translate that well to the championship, but in training, amazing. And Deulofeu, not really so much in terms of what we think about with the Barcelona DNA. Very good player, but just was different, was very like direct and didn't do all of the build-up play. Both brilliant players in their own right, though.
I remember, I think there's a documentary out on Bojan, or at least it's coming out, just the pressures of being the next Messi and then the injuries and no one really understanding the injuries as well. And I guess even though you only saw 20% of what Bojan could be, he still looked incredible when he was
unbelievable. And he didn't like that was at Stoke, and I only played there for one season, and he didn't play that much, but like in training, he was untouchable, and it was always a kind of like, well, no, Bojan's not playing. Like we need him.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it suited Stoke.
Yeah.
And the championship and him, but he was an incredible player.
You could see it. All right, go on, another one.
What's up, Williams? David here in Stoke. I read something once about a time you called Luis Suarez a diver, then contacted him afterwards to explain yourself. Is that true? And did you keep in touch? Thank you.
Wow, didn't know this. How do people find these little golden nugget stories? I've never heard of that in my life.
It's kind of that's the story. So I said that, and then what happened was Brendan Rodgers, who I'm close with, was at Liverpool at the time.
Yeah.
So he contacted me and was like, that's a bit out of order. I was like, okay, yeah, probably is, but he did dive, but whatever, no hard feelings. And he was like, well, I think you two should speak because I like both of you and whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, no problem. I haven't got a problem with him. So I think I text him and he texts back and that was it. So I text him to say like you died, but I'm not. It's not like a thing.
Yeah, you're a diver, but
no, it's whatever.
Yeah.
And he texts back saying, no problem, not really bothered. And that was it. We didn't keep in touch.
He was such a good player, wasn't he?
Yeah, unbelievable. We had so many good battles, man. Really good battles. It was always a good day against him because he just gives you there's no respite with him. I liked playing against players like that.
Just fiery South American. I guess it goes back to your point about, look, I would always say Virgil van Dijk, but I can understand when you say, one second, Terry Ferdinand and them had to deal with Suarez.
And
Drogba and all the rest of them as well. All right, go on, one more.
Hello, Ashley. I'm Ollie, an Everton fan, and I was just wondering, I thought with your time with us, I thought you were quite a sort of, like no-nonsense, stocky, good in the box, like aggressive defender, centre-half. And I was wondering if you thought that this is something that is missing from today's modern game, or at least is starting to disappear from the modern game, whether defenders are just becoming less physical or constraints from referees are making the game less physical in general.
Great real good question. My answer is yes, and a number of points. One, because of the rules of the game now don't allow that. Secondly, there isn't, like we mentioned earlier in the show, there isn't really those number nines to you
don't need to really be physical to be physical. Yeah.
And I also think it goes down. I'm always at academy football and stuff and training sessions, and I've never seen a session on defending. So the basics of defending. We will watch a football game all through the World Cup, and you'll see basic errors in defending by a world class centre back that can in possession is amazing, but defensively, like defending across, his balance is on the wrong foot, or just the basics that we got taught. I don't think they're getting taught that at a young age now.
It's interesting because I think if you were to maybe poll, I don't know, managers, players, who's the best centre back in the world right now, a lot of them would go Marquinhos. PSG was tiny.
Yeah.
Honestly, he looks like he just reminds me of a David Silva in midfield. It looks like he should be a midfielder.
But he's very good, by the way.
Very, very good, by the way. Yeah, this wasn't a Marquinhos drive, I'll tell you that now. All right, final one, go on.
What's up, Williams? Looking back at Euro 2016 semi-finals, do you think if Aaron Ramsey and Ben Davies play the game, Wales beat Portugal? Come on, Cymru.
Depressing me late in the show, man.
So many times.
Yeah, no.
So many times.
I do. I think so. And the reason I say that is because the game came, Portugal was in a real deep block. They didn't attack at all. And we missed, especially Aaron Ramsey's creativity to break through that. So it was just unfortunate that we didn't have him on that day. with that being said, who knows? Like, we might still have lost the game, but we would have had a better chance if Aaron Ramsey. I think Ben Davies, obviously, it was a shame that he couldn't play in it, but it wasn't so much that. It was just we lacked creativity in that game against a midfield and a defence that was sitting so deep.
There you go. Great questions. Thank you very much. And thank you for your honesty in answering them as well. All right, when we come back, Commonwealth Games update and the most important part of the show, the end of show quiz.
The Asian Football Confederation in the last couple of hours have come out and condemned Gianni Infantino's proposals to sell off
very late condemnations, aren't they? They're all panicking.
Competitions. Well, they are. Obviously, UEFA have come out strongest by suggesting they would boycott all FIFA competitions, including the Men's and Women's World Cup, the Club World Cup. There's actually an under-20 Women's World Cup that's due to start in September, so we may find out if they'll go through with that threat very soon. UEFA's 55 member associations held an emergency meeting earlier this week, and as I say, they voted a boycott if FIFA proceeds with plans to sell stakes in its competitions to private investors. There was a statement released by FIFA, I think it was 4 o'clock this morning UK time, so we were all napping. They said nobody is selling football, but they did vow to continue with the controversial proposal to sell stakes in its competition to private investors. FIFA, in their statement, claimed the consultation process had been, quote, disrupted by incorrect media reports.
My answer to this is that everyone always screams about FIFA's a bit of a dictatorship, but it's actually a democracy whereby you still have to have all the nations vote for this. True, Alex, right?
Yes.
So
Good evening, you're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo, Ashley Williams in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Following us from 7 o'clock, Ricky Haywood-Williams, host of Transfer Insiders this evening. He is a broadcaster and Villa fan, massive Villa fan. Dan Bardell's alongside him. They're going to keep you up to date. I can't believe this, by the way. I'm going to say this next. Dundee United versus SPL started already. Can't believe it. The Premiership started already. Crazy. Honestly, crazy.
We only just World Cup just finished.
Can't believe it. Is that normal? Is it this quick every single season? Incredible. But they're going to bring you team news from that one shortly, and we can get an update from the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Speaking of Glasgow, John Cushion is watching for talkSPORT.
Yeah, it's going to be a big night in the athletics for Team England. That from Jazz Sawyers after she qualified for the long jump final tomorrow with a season's best of 680 earlier on today. The 2014 Commonwealth Games silver medalist is now the team captain here, and she was talking to me ahead of Georgia Hunter-Bell this evening, going for gold in the women's 800 metres. You can hear it on talkSPORT 2 from 7 tonight at the race just after 8:20. Other athletics finals, 400 hurdles for both the men and women, 200 metres for the men and women as well, and the men's javelin has the last two Olympic champions involved. It is going to be some night. We've had 5 home nations boxers in action this evening as well. Lewis Richardson will be keeping us up to date on talkSPORT 2. 10 home nation boxers already through to finals tomorrow, and we're winning medals home nation wise in the cycling. England, Scotland, Wales. Erin Boothman has just won a second bronze medal tonight as well in the velodrome. Georgia Holt will have all the details on talkSPORT 2. For last minute tickets, you can go to glasgow2026.com. This is the Commonwealth Games and it's live across the talkSPORT network.
Cheers, John. Thank you very, very much. Right, I mentioned it. You heard it. This there. Football return tonight. Dundee United take on Rangers in the opening game of the SPL. John Dunn is watching that one for talkSPORT, and he has the team news for us. John.
Certainly do. Derek McInnes. It's his first game in charge of Rangers following a season with Hearts where he took them agonisingly close to winning the title and ending that 40-plus year dominance of the old firm. McInnes has brought in 8 new players during the summer, including Lawrence Shankland and Cammy Devlin, who have followed him from Hearts. They both start tonight in the league opener, as does goalkeeper Ivor Pandor, fresh from promotion with Hull, and Ben Godfrey, who's on loan from Atalanta. Dundee United have already got their season underway, winning 3 of their 4 League Cup games. New recruit Lachlan Rose has scored 3 in his first 4 outings. No surprise, he starts tonight. 10 new recruits for Jim Goodwin's side, 5 of them starting at what will be a sold-out Tannadice. Dundee United and Rangers.
Cheers, John. Thank you very much. Should be a good season. Very exciting end to the season. Last season in the SPL. All right, enough of that. It's now time for this. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Billy Wiz is in the studio.
Evening, lads. Evening, Ash.
Means another quiz. Ash, this is serious stuff.
I'm not performed well with the questions.
Are we working together or
you're working together?
I was ready to destroy him.
You finally got an expert alongside you. I thought
Yeah,
so maybe you could work together on this one.
All right, let's do this. Go on.
You were talking about Pep earlier and his greatest ever team.
Yeah.
So on the back of that, excluding Lionel Messi, who is number 1, I would like the top 13 goal scorers under Pep Guardiola.
13
players who have scored the most goals for Pep Guardiola.
Aguero has to be in there.
Yep, he's number 2 on the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
124th him.
Come on, Ash. Haaland has to be in there. Haaland has to be in
He's
there.
number 1 after Messi.
Yeah, Haaland has to be in there.
Robin?
I think I saw him. Yes, he is 13th. So
good shout. Very good shout.
He has scored 47, so all the others have scored more than 47.
Ooh,
all the others on this list. Yeah.
Samuel Eto'o?
Do you want to put him in?
Because it was under Rijkaard for a long time. But surely he got 47.
You can put him in if you want.
No, wait.
Is this like a double bluff?
Wait, De Bruyne has to be there. De Bruyne has to be there.
Yeah, he is
6th
with 92.
David Villa?
Do you want to put him in?
Why does he do
that thing there? He does. I don't like it. He's an expert at doing that.
What are we putting him in on?
It's up to you.
You've got a few posts. You can hit the post a few times.
Okay, let's go, David Villa. Eto'o.
He's not on the list.
I'm going to stop talking.
Iniesta.
Yeah, come on. What?
If you tell me he's not on the list, I'll walk out.
He's not on the list.
Don't walk out, I need you.
Wasn't really. Yeah.
Wasn't really a goal scorer. Oh, wait. Raheem Sterling. Sterling has to be on the list.
3rd on the list. 120 goals for Pep.
Wow. That's a huge... Okay, wait. Oh, is it Lewandowski?
Yep, 10th on the list. Perfect. 67.
Thomas Muller.
Yes.
Oh, you know what?
Great shout.
How many have we got now?
So Thomas Muller was 7th on the list with 79. You still need 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 answers.
6 in 2 minutes. Oh my God.
Man City, think quick.
Man City. Alvarez, no, didn't score enough for Man City. Midfield. Morris?
Do you want to put him in?
No, it's that.
It's a good shout, that.
But it did.
Put him in.
Morris, yeah, Morris has to be on there.
Yeah, he's easily in.
Okay.
8th on the list with 78. Do you want the clubs? That help?
Yeah.
1, 2.
Pedro for Barcelona.
One.
Pedro Barcelona has to be on the list.
12th on the list, 58. All the rest, don't know if this might make it too easy, are from Man City.
Okay.
All the rest
from City. Okay, go on. Have we said Foden?
You haven't said Foden.
I'm saying Phil Foden.
4th on the list. 110 goals for Pep, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
That surprised me. That surprised me.
Have we said David Silva?
I don't know. Is he?
You haven't said David Silva.
Do we even want him in there?
Go on.
I don't know.
It's up to you.
I don't know.
You need 5th, 9th, and 11th on the list.
11th. Silva could be 11th. Silva could be 11th.
Missing?
Bernardo Silva? Would he have scored enough? Bernardo Silva.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
9th on the list. Scored 76.
So we're missing 5th and 11th.
I'm shocked by these numbers.
Yeah. So you need 5th and 11th. The lowest 11th has scored 65 goals. If that helps at all.
Doesn't. But thanks anyway.
Must be David Silva. Now, Grealish, no way.
Do you want some positions?
Go on, yeah.
You got a centre forward and a central midfielder.
Centre forward City?
We're missing someone obvious.
Wait, okay. Haaland, Aguero, Alvarez? Julian Alvarez?
Yeah, maybe.
Alvarez?
Not Alvarez, no.
Well, who's in between?
Between Aguero and Haaland?
Wait, hang on.
Got about a minute on the slides.
Come on. Ash, come on, my brain's done. City forward, what's going on?
Has moved to another Premier League club. Top Premier League club as well.
This is so embarrassing.
You know, it's not a.
This is something.
It's not an obvious answer.
Oh,
so that might mean you're out of time. I'm not sure.
Oh, Jesus! Oh.
Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, I got it. And the other one was what?
Ilkay Gundogan with 65 goals.
We're rubbish,
That shocks me.
No, we're rubbish.
Yeah.
No, I got more than you. You're rubbish, Ash. I got more than you. I needed your help. I needed your help, Ash, and you just weren't there. You just weren't there.
You just got obsessed with Eto.
Yeah, I didn't even listen to
got about 12 goals.
Drive with Adi Oladipo and the man that didn't know anything, Ashley Williams. Next up, Ricky Hayward-Williams brings you the Transfer Insiders with Dan Barder over on talkSPORT at the same time. Natalie Sawyer and Greg Rutherford bring you live coverage of the Commonwealth Games. I'll be back from 4 o'clock on Monday with another Gabby Bodlehor. Should be fun.
Dancing helps relieve the pain, soothes your mind, makes you happy again.
Let's bring in Terry Gibson, Spanish football expert. Terry, always good to speak to you. Lots of news stories over in Spain at the moment. Let's start with that Marcus Rashford farewell post to Barcelona. Looks like his hopes of return to the Camp Nou are now very much over.
Yes, it does, and I think it was a blow to him when Anthony Gordon. It must have been kind of awkward when the England team met up for the World Cup when Anthony Gordon